The New Zealand Gaming Championships League of Legends Premiership is presented by Let's Play Live, Australasia's new home of esports at letsplay.live. Logitech G, bringing you winning gaming devices. Mice, keyboards, headsets and controllers. Game with passion, win with science. Logitech G. Twitch, the world's leading social video platform and community for gamers. Twitch.tv. The NZGC is powered by Playtech. Technology at play. Playtech is the #1 custom PC system builder in New Zealand. Visit playtech.co.nz. Players stay at Adina Apartment Hotel at Britomart, Auckland. Book today at adinahotels.com. Adina, official accommodation of the NZGC. Now, let the gaming begin.
Villains versus Too Easy. Week 2, Match 1 of the NZGC League of Legends Premiership. And of course, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Hexadome. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Matt Pixie Carroll, and with me here, as always, is Matt Smart Ross.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got 6 weeks and 6 teams to go through for the NZGC. However, we're at the top of week number 2. In week 1, we had a ton of action and some of the best series of League of Legends I've personally ever seen in New Zealand. But we've got 2 groups of 3 teams. They'll be playing within those groups and occasionally once per week playing against a team from the other group to see how they match up.
Yeah, with that all in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at how this week just been played out. Getting to see these teams for the first time, of course.
Now, last week on Saturday, the first matchup was King 5 against Tiger Eye. Tiger Eye taking out the first game, but King 5 taking it back with 2 wins in a row. Then it was Too Easy, getting a 2-1 against DNA in a back-and-forth match that ended in a 3rd game. And then the featured matchup, the crossover matchup, was the Villains taking out our first 2-0 against Decode Esports.
So let's take a look at how that is translated to the leaderboards. Of course, currently top in the tables is the Villains, the only team to pull out a 2-0 win this week, walking away with 4 points. Tied for second is, of course, King 5 and Too Easy, both picking up a 2-1 victory, walking away with 3 points. Tied for third will be DNA and Tiger Eye at 1 point apiece. And at the bottom of the standings is Decode, who, of course, were taken out by the Villains this Wednesday just been. So pretty exciting stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this next week is going to be playing out.
Well, this next week is going to be pretty exciting. First up, though, is tonight. It's the Villains, the returning champions, taking on the 2nd seed from the major qualifier, Too Easy. Then tomorrow night on Sunday, it's Tiger Eye taking on Decode Esports. And then on Wednesday, it's our crossover matchup live on Sky Sport 3, playing with the players here from the Hexadome, King 5 taking on DNA.
And, of course, for some people, that Sky Sport was the first time they got to see some League of Legends. So if this is now your first time tuning into our online broadcasts, first of all, thank you very much and welcome. Second of all, we expect you'd like to know maybe a little bit more about what you're about to see. And to help you do that is, of course, Laurie Pops.
Hey guys, my name is Laurie Pops and I'm here to help you get to know more about League of Legends and esports in general. And the best place to start is at the beginning. What is League of Legends? League of Legends is a team-oriented strategy game. The goal is to work together with your teammates to bring down the enemy nexus, located in the middle of their base, and do it before they take down yours. The action takes place in the Summoner's Rift, the League of Legends playing field. It's made up of 3 lanes, bot for bottom, mid for middle, and top for top. Each lane is a path between the 2 bases guarded by powerful turrets. Teams need to take down these turrets to enter the enemy base and destroy the nexus to win. Between the lanes is the jungle, a shadowy area filled with powerful monsters that can beat the heck out of an unprepared champion. But you can earn lots of gold by taking them down, and experts in the jungle can be the difference between winning and losing. It all sounds pretty straightforward, but making it happen is a little bit harder. Players start by choosing a champion, each one with different strengths and personalities. Some are sharp, shooting marksmen working from a distance, or burly fighters who like to get up in your face. Others are spellcasters using magical powers to trap and damage the enemy. However you like to get things done, there's a champion out there to match your style. And that is the basics of League of Legends. Use teamwork, skill, and strategy to take down the enemy, while they try to do exactly the same back. Enjoy tonight's matchup. This is Laurie Potts logging out. See you later.
All right, so now that you know a little bit more of the game, how about we get to know the players a little bit? Who have we got this week, Matt?
All right, so two teams facing off tonight, of course. It's going to be the Villains against 2Easy. Let's have a look at some of the players from the Villains first, returning champions. Some amazing players. Up in the top lane, it's going to be Bun Bun. Prowling in the jungle is Dolphs. In the middle lane is Kensti. And down in the bottom lane, working together, is Shiny as AD carry and Perkle as support.
Well-known team, to be sure. Of course, Dolph's capping up in the jungle. Always a strong player. Coming up against them tonight, though, is of course going to be 2Easy. Jack Attack, one of the longest-running players in the region, up in top lane. Rin Toyama in the jungle. Kale, another legacy player in the mid lane. And bottom lane, Blinky and Cupcake at AD carry and support, respectively. Bit of a superstar lane, those two. So, I feel like 2Easy possibly going to draw blood tonight.
I think so. Out of any of the teams that we're looking at in the NZGC, 2Easy definitely up there, and some of the teams favoured to not only take a game off the Villains, but even take a series. But we are now in Champion Select. We're ready to get on to match 1 of tonight of this best of 3 series.
So, of course, you have now got to know the game, got to know the players. Now we're going to get to know what they want to play. Jeez, quickfire bans to start it off.
Oh yeah, no, teams know exactly what they want to take off the table here. Just on a brief quick look at that, a few target bans actually coming out, particularly the Caitlyn and the Jhin. I have to say, targeting AD carries on both sides. Blinky and Shiny, some of the most respected in those roles in the NZGC.
Yeah, I'm really not surprised to see those coming out as it is. But of course, that has left both Sivir and Karma on the table. So Karma going to be the first to be locked in there for Villains. And, sorry, that is for 2Easy, in fact. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sivir locked in for Villains. They're having a bit of a decision. They were hovering Sivir.
I feel like maybe they're just playing a few games with us with what they're hovering over so far. I don't think Twitch is going to get picked up. But the Sivir, yeah, there it goes. It's locked in. Important.
Not surprised.
Important because that takes away the Sivir Karma combination.
Exactly.
Which we actually saw last week. Villains play to really, really good effectiveness. But important to take that away from 2Easy.
Yeah, the Misfortune's just going to be a bit of a hover there. I'm interested to see what they pick up. I wonder if it is actually going to be an Elise lock-in. Going to give that one over to Dolphs. And actually, Dolphs is the one who's picked it as well. So, interesting pick up there for Villains. He actually pulled it out in the first game on Wednesday. Played it to fairly decent effect as well. I mean, it's Dolphs. He's solid on most junglers, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, Elise is one of his biggest champions, most comfortable on that champion. Few more pickups. It's going to be Nidalee and Shen picked up. And, well, Nidalee, again, just a really strong jungler. If you don't get Elise, go ahead, pick up Nidalee. Rek'Sai wasn't banned, was open, but going for more of a damage-oriented style jungler.
Yeah, I do like the Nidalee pickup there, especially since they're going with a Shen in top. That makes a lot of sense to me, right? Because Shen is fairly safe, A, to pick in blind, and B, as just a generally strong tank. On the flip side of that matchup, there's going to be Echo, unless that's a really funky Echo mid or something, and Braum being picked up as well to go in with that Sivir. Again, a combination I really am a big fan of. And I don't think this is going to be a Rek'Sai lock-in.
That'd be super interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a bit odd. There we go. It's going to be Lucian for the bottom lane and Victor for the mid.
Quite interesting. It's almost like the AD carries have swapped their preferred supports. Usually you see a Lucian Braum lane and Sivir Karma. But in any case, they both
feel a bit that way.
They do both work well in tandem. The Lucian and Karma particularly I want to talk on. Massive amounts of wave clear, which is what the Sivir Karma lane likes to do.
Now Perkle hovering over Cassiopeia to give over to Kensti in the mid lane. And I do actually like the Victor pickup as well, because that Echo, like I said, could have potentially gone mid. Like, probably not, but maybe. So I kind of like the Victor there because it's decent against most mid laners and would have done decently against the Echo as well. So it kind of calls the flex from that, but it is going to be Cassiopeia locked in against that. How do we feel about these two team comps?
So just at a very, very brief look, both teams running very squishy champions apart from one champion each. over on Too Easy, right in the top lane. Of course, you've got Shen, one of the biggest tanks in the game. But for the villains, they're running their tank in the support lane, so it's going to take a little bit longer for him to get rolling. But honestly, look for Jack Attack to be the tank in the mid game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And a lot of just straight up pick potential coming out of the Nidalee and Shen there. One thing to note, though, of course, about the villains is they do get a little bit of tankiness out of Elise and Echo. So I feel like on the whole, Too Easy, a little bit squishier, but apples and oranges, you know, win some, lose some, someone's going to be squishy at the end of the day. And with those picks in mind, let's go ahead and meet some of these players.
I am Raven. I'm the top laner for King 5 in NZGC.
It's Purple.
Hi, I'm Brawler. I'm the captain and support for Team Tiger.
My in-game name is Dolphs.
I'm Bode. I'm the top laner for Decode.
You're talking to Daniel Yao.
Hi, I'm Ultra1, jungler for Team DNA.
Hey guys, my name's Bill. My GN is Bill as well, and I'm on King 5.
I'm Cupcake.
The first video game I spent a bunch of time on was Age of Empires.
The first video game I fell in love with would probably be Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy back in the day.
The first video game I fell in love with was probably Neopets.
My favorite game is League of Legends.
RuneScape, I actually spent a lot of time on that game, although a lot of people have something against that. I loved playing it.
First video game I fell in love with was probably Mario. Warcraft 3, just played that all day, loved it.
Probably Crash Bandicoot back when I was like 5 years old. I just remember coming home from primary school and playing on my PlayStation 1 all day, and my mum would come and sit down and play with me as well.
I would have to say Pokemon. I've played since Gen 1 and I'm waiting for Sun and Moon to get released, so still going strong.
Probably Cupcake. He's an amazing support player, and he just outclasses most other players on his role.
I think Dolphs is probably still one of the top lanes in NZGC because of his shot calling and team decisions.
The best players in NZGC is definitely 021, the jungler for DNA.
Shock. He's a monster.
Brawler, the support for Tiger Eye.
The best player in the NZGC is probably me.
I respect most of the players, all the junglers, because obviously they're good enough to be in the NZGC, but probably one I respect the most is Dos.
I actually think Shiny is probably one of the better players in the NZGC.
Blinky, 100%. That guy's a monster.
Yeah, we used to play a lot of football and indoor football.
Play a lot of table tennis outside of gaming.
I'm kind of into food these days.
I'm studying computer science at the University of Auckland at the moment, and coding's also one of my hobbies on the side.
Yeah, I like studying for my tests and going to the gym sometimes.
I used to play a lot of cricket, but League's kind of taken over. So.
I've played a lot of tennis. Not too much at the moment, but yeah, I would still say tennis.
All right, and welcome back. We've got a couple of moments before we jump on in to Summoner's Rift for our first game of the night. Do you have any final thoughts about these two teams, given what they've picked?
Well, we've just got to look at the win conditions, right? So you've got one team coming out from Too Easy, and they've got a Lucian. And any team composition that runs Lucian really loves to snowball off the mid-game, right? So coming off the back of that, they have Shen as well. They want to come out of those team fights with not just an incredibly powerful AD carry, but also a very tanky Shen. So he needs to make sure he's using that ultimate, that Stand United, to get into those team fights and power through those dragons and win from the mid-game.
All right, well, that's pretty cut and dry. And they've certainly got the tools as well to get that Lucian going, I feel. You know, the early pressure that can come out of Nidalee. They've got a lot of rotational power, I feel, as well. So if the straight-up team fighting thing isn't quite working out for them, then they do have a lot of flexibility in that. How do we feel about the villains?
Villains, it's a similar style, I'd like to say, but instead of fighting around objectives in the mid-game, they're going to be going for tower dives. Elise is an excellent champion to do that. With the ability to use Repel to juggle through the tower aggro. You'll be diving for someone like Echo if you put a focus on the top lane, who, again, very tanky, has the ultimate to get back, get out, sustain. So that's what they're going to be snowballing off in the mid-game, but they have a little bit more power through the late game with their rotational picks, just from that Sivir ultimate, and then the team fight power coming out from the Cassiopeia ults and the Braum ultimate as well.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, actually. Something Too Easy have kind of put in there is the Victor. Like, it just gives them a little bit of a boost, I feel, in terms of straight up team fighting, and also just anti-siege. Like, they're probably not going to use it aggressively, I feel, but they can absolutely use that defensively in a siege situation, which kind of takes that option off the board for the villains, and also kind of makes it harder for them to go for those out-and-out team fights because of the zone control out of Victor. So I like that pickup for that reason. And I think it was kind of brave, if you will, to go ahead and pick Cassiopeia into that anyway, knowing that some of the team fighting strengths of Cassiopeia kind of got taken off the board. So I kind of feel like now villains have to go for a bit of a pick-oriented game as well.
Of course, we are now loading onto Summoner's Rift, the battlefield of tonight. Villains going up against 2Easy. We've got some stellar-looking team compositions. We're going to see how the teams play it out, see if they play safely at level 1, or if they're going to go for a little bit of shenanigans.
Shenanigans, maybe. Well, I believe actually it was Villains on Wednesday. A couple of times they decided to, to get a little bit funky with level 1 and not quite go for the straight defensive fan out that we know and love. But it does look like tonight it's just going to be good old defensive start from both of these teams. Something I have to say I absolutely agree with. I mean, as exciting as early action is, at the same time, it's kind of good to see both teams, playing it safe, playing it calm, taking their A game here, especially with how much is on the line tonight.
So just while we've got a bit of a calm moment at the start, careful Jack attack.
Watch out.
He's just warding. Doesn't get the ward kill there. But while we've got a moment to talk, just hopefully no one goes for any action against that Grom. We're going to talk about the villains, right? Particularly Shiny. Literally immortal so far in the tournament. He hasn't died a single time in the 2 games he's played already. So looking really strong and a player to beat tonight.
Pretty scary guy, to be honest. In fact, the whole villains squad is looking quite scary tonight because, of course, out of the jungle, they've got Dolphs, who currently has, if I'm not mistaken, the highest kill participation. Knocking about it, I think 71%, which is a phenomenal number.
That's super important as well, coming up from a jungler. It shows that he's doing everything right. He's there for every kill on his team, able to participate, get every lane rolling that needs to be, and make sure he's there where his team is taking the gold leads. Now we're finally into the action, and the action is going to be taking a few PvE camps.
Yeah, well, both bottom lanes going to go ahead and start with that neutral camp. Something I've got to say, I completely agree with that. I absolutely like that they do that, but I feel like that just inherently favors the villains, purely because Braum takes a Targon Trace. And that is going to let Shiny heal up just a little bit compared to Cupcake.
And of course, while there's normally quite a... Oh god, Rintoyama, oh! He's alright.
He's going to be able to heal himself back up. He is in Italy, but he's going to go straight on.
Straight on into the doggies.
He needs to be a little bit careful there. He can't afford to take too much damage. I don't think he's quite going to get executed, though.
But thanks for interrupting my point there, Rintoyama. But in any case, talking about the advantage that Lucian normally gets from level 2, it's always a very terrifying thing to go up against. But Shiny on that Sivir just has the wave clear to make sure he's the one that gets level 2 first. You can see they're already level 2, so if there was any action, we did kind of miss it. But Shiny, he's already dropped down to half health there.
Yeah, we saw the exact reason for that right there. Cupcake using those Qs, and of course using the mantra Q as well whenever he can to just get that extra poke damage down. Sivir is still fairly short range, especially when Lucian has a lot of bullying power. So, I mean, Shiny does have to be a little bit careful in that lane. Nice steal by Rintoyama on the Scuttle Crab.
And that came entirely off having that ward in the Pixel Bush right there. Absolutely important. I like the Pixel Bush because it's a single space. But in any case, that ward, super important to have in the early game, and we just saw the reason why. Picking up that Scuttle Crab, it's going to give vision of Dolphs, and if you have a look at the rest of the wards on the map, they've got the river completely covered in the bottom side of the map.
Oh, they've got it on absolute lockdown, and that's actually really useful here for Rintoyama, because it allows him to help put more pressure down. Whoa, scratch all that. Just double flashes being exchanged. Nothing too absurd just yet, but yeah, like I said, a lot of pressure can be put down on the bottom side of the map there because of that. We're just going to go ahead into a quick little pause there. I believe Shiny is actually having a few connection issues. He is a model. His net connection, not so much.
Well, in any case, what we just saw in the mid lane, really important for 2 reasons, right? First one is we know where Dolphs wants to focus, and that's the mid lane. If we look to last week's matchup, Kensti, while we talk about Dolphs being a great player, Kensti absolutely destroyed his lane opponents in both games, and they weren't even always the most favorable of matchups. He didn't have a lot of jungler attention either, so already dominating his lanes without the help of Dolphs for a lot of it. So the fact that Dolphs is showing attention this time means they absolutely want to snowball him, and Cassiopeia being a late game champion, really important.
Absolutely. And of course, the fact that Archael has now blown his flash as well, you know, it's more valuable on Archael than it is on Dolphs. Because of course, Dolphs can just kind of path well to get the drop on Archael, right? Archael on that Victor, super immobile, has little to no crowd control until he actually levels up the gravity well with that Hex Core. He does get the slow early on, but at least kind of doesn't care. I mean, once she's landed the stun, she's landed the stun. And if she really desperately needs, she can come on in with the repel to get the follow-up. She doesn't actually have to walk towards you. The displacement against the Cassiopeia is super important because that can kind of stop her from chasing you up. So I don't doubt we're going to see a return game from Dolphs.
The key thing to watch out for...
Golfs? Yeah.
No, that's definitely never going to catch.
Bit of a different one.
Yeah, but another key thing to watch, actually, is going to be where Rin Toyama reacts to this. We've already seen him be a little bit cheeky, steal the Rift Scuttler right out under from Dolph's nose. Bit of a cheeky thing to do there. But having seen one of his laners already ganked, we're going to have to see what he decides to do in response to that. Is he going to gank the top lane, maybe the mid lane to blow a flash on the enemy mid laner? But we're going to find out as the pause does, in fact, come to an end.
Back in game. And you actually talked about just how much of a vision lockdown there is. Even if that doesn't mean pressure for Rin Toyama, it does mean actually that this 2-easy bot lane can play very aggressively, very safely. Dolphs though is passed up to the top side.
Oh, typical
I believe
Dolphs.
he gets spotted out here. There's going to be some blows traded between him and Rin Toyama. And those Spiderlings can actually block up those spears. That's so cheeky. Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, and in fact, it actually kills the Spiderling, so he doesn't even get the extra gap close that comes out from the pounce when you throw out the spear. But in any case, Dolphs showing his typical playstyle of very commonly, very oftenly moving into the enemy jungler. Speaking of that, though, Rin Toyama knows when to move in.
Yeah, this is a really great response here from Rin Toyama. Going to go ahead and steal away the Raptor Camp, already with a bit of CS lead himself.
Oh,
Tends to happen with Italy, but oh, this is a sneaky one. The speed does go wide, but the exhaust is down. As the gravity field forces out a flash. No follow-up from Rin Toyama. Oh, nice. Miasma is going to stop any kind of chasing from Rin Toyama. That is going to be the Ghost blown as well from Kensti, though, so a lot of summoners out of the picture there.
Kensti does still have a health potion, so he can hang around for a little longer. Archael actually blowing one of his summoner spells.
That was his
as well.
exhaust there, so he's now out as well, along with Kensti.
So now he actually loses a lot of defensive power from that too, if Dolphs does show back up. If you can throw an exhaust onto Elise, it does negate a huge amount of the damage that comes out, which is a lot of what Elise brings to the gank. So pretty key that he's lost that summoner spell too.
Oh wow, Jack Attack. Doing a bit of bullying up in the top lane, looking a little bit healthier, and of course Bun Bun has to burn through a lot of mana. Does have a teleport to get back to lane though, so I expect that we will see that. And the game's still progressing kind of slowly despite some early aggressive moves, and it's actually 2-easy so far, coming out with really just a flat CS lead.
Yeah, Jack Attack actually on that Shadow Wall is going to be forced out of lane. He's got his teleport too. A little more important though, because once he gets level 6, Stand United's there, doesn't need to use the teleport to go help his other lanes.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of useful for him in this matchup, because he can just teleport back to lane now and still kind of have an advantage in terms of that global pressure. And with how Rin Toyama has been able to keep control of the vision game for now, I absolutely expect that we'll see 2-easy start pressuring around a dragon before long.
Rin Toyama, like you said, he needs to stay on that vision game because Dolphs so often walks into the enemy jungle. It's the reason that Rin Toyama was able to catch him out before. And even having a look at it, despite Dolphs having a presence in ganking the mid lane, Rin Toyama has done the same and kept ahead in the CS. So he's already doing a better job of Dolphs. And look at him now. He's going into the enemy jungle for even more vision.
Right as that ward expires, he is going to get spotted out by the Wolf Spirit, but that is going to expire in just a moment.
Ward.
Yeah, that is a really nice ward to go down there. I'm pretty sure it is known, and that also means Dolphs knows he can path around this top side of the jungle nice and safe, going to get some vision down for himself. But I think the most he can really do from this is get pressure maybe on Archael, and you know, there's a response line of deep warding anyway out of 2-easy. They know exactly where Dolphs has just been. This is really just allowing 2-easy to play quite aggressively here.
But the key thing about those deep wards is that it shows where Dolphs isn't. If he's not there, if he's not at Wolf Camp or at Raptor Camp, then he's probably in your own jungle. He's going to get spotted out here.
Yeah, they know exactly where he is. Jack Attack, he's not going to waste any time. Just goes ahead, taunts away. You know, it's kind of hard to bait that taunt out of a Shen, you know, especially when you know the jungler might be around. And yeah, here we go. Great move by Rin Toyama, making use of that vision dominance in the bottom area. Going to go ahead and siege down this turret. They know that mid is roaming in, so they can do this quite safely. Meanwhile, the villains are going to try and answer with the dive in the top lane. Dolphs, yeah, there's no energy for Jack Attack, but Dolphs is taking up the turret. Oh, Bun Bun taking a couple of shots. Looks like they're going to be able to get out, so a nice, clean first blood. No turret quite traded for that one. Really tight juggling of the aggro.
Yeah, Rin Toyama not able to put out the pressure to match it in the bottom lane. So no turret traded for that first blood.
Well, he can get some more CS.
Yeah, well, that's always important. But
Steal
Dolph's
the
going to steal the blue buff. Pretty important to take away from RKL. They're
Oh,
still going for a dive. The
yeah.
tower is low. This could be second
yeah,
blood.
and I like this. Jack Attack is back up. They're going to go ahead, Stand United. Oh, they pounce on in. They're going to taunt on Shiny. They're going to be able to pick up that kill. Now they're looking for Perkle. He's going to be able to flash away, get safe under turret, but they pick up an initial demolition with that as well.
Picking up the bonus gold and also picking up the very first kill on Shiny. The first time he's died, he now officially has a KDA.
No longer immortal.
He now officially has a KDA as well, because of course it was undefined.
Yeah, when you got 0 deaths,
yes.
you don't have a KDA.
Yeah, it just comes up as blank. In any case, they're able to match the blue buff steal, but importantly, they've got the positioning around the dragon, taking down the turret, the AD carry, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. You know, they're in position to pressure a dragon. I expected we'd see that, and it's the perfect dragon for them, right? It is a mountain drake, and this is a team comp that wants to be able to rotate and siege down turrets using that extra range and gank pressure, or rather dive pressure from them.
So how are the villains going to match this right now? They've got Dolphs hanging around in the top side of the map, hanging around that Rift Herald. He's got a lot of good deep vision down. He's going to need a hand to take out the Rift Herald, though.
Yeah.
And his top laner on the opposite side of the map, so it's not even going to go to a key member.
Exactly. You don't even have the guy you want to actually give that buff over to. Rin Toyama's going to be the one to stick around and finish off the dragon as well. So it allows the rest of his laners to actually get back into position. So while the villains are still finishing this off, Too Easy are already back at it and pressuring lanes. And this is going to cause Dolphs to back because he's taken so much damage. So that's actually really key there for Too Easy.
Yeah, so Dolph's actually having to recall. Perkle's coming back into lane on half HP. Blinky and Cupcake have arrived to take control of the top lane.
Oh, started out
into the face!
Yeah. Shiny, he had to commit to pathing around that 8. Almost every shot of that culling. Perkle was already low, now is Shiny low as well. Given how much poke they've already been taking, need to really consider whether they need to back off from this lane.
And Cupcake, of course, being on that Karma, can throw it an immense amount of poke underneath that turret. They've also got Jag Attack on that Shen. Of course, actually, Stand United is quite a while away, so they're not actually going to be able to rely on that for a while. And, well, Rin Toyama still ages away from the top lane. Tons of vision there anyway. The Dolphs nearby. They are going to be safe in the top lane, but they may need to commit resources.
That they might. Still a little while away on the Stand United out of Jack Attack. He's actually about to get the teleport, so both that. Oh, never mind all that. They're just going to go ahead and commit. It's going to be hard to teleport into this one. Going to go ahead with the root on Perkle. He uses the ult and the heal. They're committing a teleport. Blinky needs to be careful he doesn't get stunned. But if they just get the damage on Shiny first, it's not going to matter. He's forced out. Now Bun Bun is here, wants to go deep, looking for Blinky. It's going to be support though from Rin Toyama. He knew it was happening. Comes on up to react, keeps Blinky alive.
He went back to the bottom lane.
Oh, yeah. No, he didn't even die. He was able to get back into that ult. Oh, Jack Attack! Oh! Nice turnaround there using the dodge field from the Spirit Sword. So, Bun Bun going all the way back to the bottom lane, still got punished. Really great move by Too Easy, just totally leveraging the pressure they have to its maximum effect.
Totally highlight worthy right there, but in any case, let's take a breather. It might be 3-1 in the kills, and in fact, you're actually seeing Too Easy with a gold lead. They're going to pick up another turret as
Makes
well.
It even bigger.
Yeah, they already got the initial demolition, that first turret gold. Picking up a second one, going to compound that, give them more map presence. So eyes are going to be locked on the mid lane one, though. That's the one to get.
Dolph's now picking up that bottom side Scuttle Crab. Dragon's still a while away, so really this feels like a bit of a lame consolation prize for Dolphs. He will be able to clear out some vision as well, but this signals to Too Easy exactly where Dolphs is. They know exactly where they can put down the pressure. Oh, there we go! Oh, dashes forward, loses the mobility. They're going to throw the Shen on top of him. He's going to be able to stay alive for now. He does live, does die just as Jack Attack arrives. Now Jack Attack's in trouble, gets stunned up, uses the shield, Cupcake in to try and help Jack Attack out. They get a total Kenzie and Rin Toyama's here. They want to go in for this. The only one he catches him with the spear is Perkle, but he might be able to do the damage. He's certainly got it. And RKL has arrived as well with the Chaos Storm down. Kenzie on the run with that ghost. They force the flash out of Dolphs as well. He is limping away, 1-for-1 trade now, but a ton of members of the Too Easy squad in the mid lane.
And you can actually see villains are sitting up in these separate side lanes, while the mid lane turret might be under pressure.
They're trying to answer.
It is wave clear. Villains are trying to get something in the side lanes, and I think they can even hold this mid lane with the wave clear.
Yeah, they actually can, and really it's the miasma. They are respecting the damage out of Kenzie, but Kenzie now has to back away. They're also able to send Blinky up to the top lane. Shiny will get the turret anyway, and it will be unanswered for now, but this mid turret does kind of feel like it's Too Easy, it's just not yet.
So as we take a bit of a breather, still 2,000 gold ahead. This mid lane turret took a bit of damage. That's mostly just a team fight, but Shiny!
Shiny really overstayed there. Blinky, he knows he's going to be able to get the kill. That's actually kind of disastrous. They didn't trade turret for turret, but trading turret for kill is kind of just as good, given that, like I said, mid turret, probably not long for this world.
So while it looks like they're playing to their win condition, too easy, they've got the mid-game power spike, they've actually got Blinky, 2 kills, a completed item. But the key thing is to look at, Gold is not too far behind considering what has happened. You look at the top lane, the middle lane, CS leads just traditionally for the villains, particularly Kensti, who's always outplayed his opponent.
Well, and that was actually the other way around not too long ago either. Blinky had a CS lead himself in the bottom lane. That has now been evened up. Top lane was, I think, fairly even, if a little in favor of Jack Attack. Jungle has stayed in favor of Rin Toyama, but mid has had a complete reverse from the early parts of the game, and that's really how villains are kind of holding on despite the turret and dragon deficits.
It's still leaving room for too easy to play to that win condition, though. Like I said, Jack Attack, he's got a completed item. That turret is so low. Should go down in the next rotation. There's a lot of members around, but too easy. They've got a ton of vision around their next target.
And the thing is, once that outer turret goes down, it lets Too Easy put down even more vision. The fact that they're already controlling it as well as they are means they know exactly what their win condition is, and they know that they're ahead now.
And actually, Rin Toyama picking up that needlessly large rod, and in a siege situation, those spears landing on any target right now, no one's had time to get tanky enough. So they're going to be doing chunks of damage. And the turret goes down.
Yeah, they're already setting up for the siege on the next one as well. And because there's a brawl happening in the bottom lane, and the top lane is nowhere near the fight. Actually, Kensi was sent up top. Never mind all that. They're going to go ahead and make a collapse on Bun Bun here to take him out of the picture before they start up the siege. Going to be able to knock him down nice and quick. Cullen going on to him. That ultimate is not going to help him. Jack Attack picking up the kill. Blinky committing a bit to that. Villains are trying to answer with a rotation into the mid lane, but Rin Toyama does need to be careful. But the rest of the team will be able to collapse before long. With Dark Ale already thrown down. Oh, the storm! Doing a ton of damage. Dawson's going to drop back down pretty much the same position. It's going to be hard for him to get out of this one. Actually, the laser is going to do enough. Now Cupcake looking to get the rune onto Perkle. The spear lands. Rin Toyama gets that one. And the villains are just struggling.
And Villains, this could be the very first game they've actually lost. Still undefeated, not just in this tournament as well. And
like the last 7 tournaments?
Last 7, and I've heard very many numbers on that front. But in any case, too easy. Looking to take down the tier 2 mid turret. They've got a nice amount of vision around it. They've got a lot of poke to keep Shiny away. He can't even get him ranged to Boomerang Blade, and it falls.
And they've sent Jack Attack as well to go ahead and deal with Kensi in the side lane. So again, Villains cannot answer this. A dragon has just spawned as well. Too Easy going to take even more off this map, about 4.5k gold ahead.
And that is a Cloud Drake playing exactly into what they need to do. They've got the mid-game snowball. Now with the... they're actually going to not go for the dragon. Actually, probably a good call.
Yeah, they're respecting the team fight, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's also important for Villains to take it away from them, because I'm going to mention, they don't have Cassiopeia nearby. He could Ghost to get there quicker, but you can also see his pathway is completely rewarded as well. So despite Too Easy not getting the dragon, they drop down in crucial amounts of vision.
Yeah, the Villains are able to get themselves a little bit more back on the board for that, picking up that dragon. I think the other reason Too Easy did not go for that is, of course, they'd picked up a couple of kills, bunch of gold, but they actually had not gone and spent it. So now they're going to be a little bit more confident going into these fights, going into these sieges with that gold lead now a little bit more solidified in items. And speaking of...
Yeah, well, you've got to look at Jack Attack's items as well. A fully completed Spirit Visage means he's got the magic resist to match 3 of the key damage dealers coming out from the villains right now, that Echo, Elise, and Cassiopeia. So what do? You just dive on the Shiny, the only guy who can actually damage you, taunt him up, and then kill him before the team fight's over, and then you're going to be immortal for the rest of the fight.
Really smart call by Jack Attack. You see that often when teams commit to that double AP in the mid and top, and given that Jack Attack's been able to get ahead, makes it a little bit hard for Villains to execute on that team fight that they maybe wanted to find. Also makes it a little bit safer for Too Easy to potentially use that. We spoke to the Victor, helping them do that, so really just means more options for Too Easy on how they might want to win this game. The other option, of course, is Pix, and Bun Bun, he's looking in a little bit of trouble in this bottom lane.
Same mistake he made earlier. He's realized it now because of the vision that they've got down.
He's got away with it.
He's got to be careful. When he's got no tier 1 turret down there, he doesn't have anywhere to retreat to.
And he feels a lot of safe because you can see how much vision the Villains put down around the Dragon Pit, but
it's all gone.
It's nearly gone, and it doesn't mean much when they're rotating through your jungle, not their jungle.
Now, they're playing a good rotational game here, flicking between the two lanes. That next key target is going to be that tier 2 bottom lane turret. Rin Toyama can hang around the side, throw spears down, get that poke down, along with Cupcake on the Karma, and with the Mountain Drake, should rip this turret to shreds.
That it absolutely should. There is a little bit of time pressure on them. Oh, hold on, never mind all that, because Blinky's got caught up. It's going to just have to be a fight. Mackenzie's not going to be here for it. He's taking a while to roam on in. No one has died just yet. A lot of blinking health bust though on Too Easy now. Mackenzie arrives off to the side, going to see if he can find anyone zoning. All ready to cover off in the fight. The dash away from Blinky. He's trying to get out because Bunbun's deep on him. A nice taunt though is going to stop Bunbun in his tracks. They do trade one back. The villains for Jack Dex found another. Then they get another and another one and another one. Not quite the other ones yet. The last three, they're not long for this world. Rin Toyama does finally drop between Jack Attack. In fact, with just Jack Attack. No, they don't have the damage because Shiny was able to get through untouched. It felt like they just had it in the bag, but really, really clean, tidy play by the villains, keeping Shiny alive, zoning the support off from the fight, and they do put themselves back on the board. The thing I was just saying a moment ago is there is time pressure for Too Easy because Kenzie has been off in side lanes, ramping up in power. They cannot let him do that.
Yeah, very often we actually saw just so many fights happening with Kenzie off in the side lanes. It even happened in that matchup. Villains knew they had the time to push Too Easy off the turret, and then have time for Kenzie to arrive not only just from behind with the villains, but actually from the flank. And was able to get down a lot of zoning pressure, actually cut Cupcake off from the rest of the fight.
I feel like that was quite significant.
Oh, hang on though!
Oh, Jack Attack maybe pulling a bit of a bun here. He does have his team pretty close by. I think he's going to be safe. And he's pretty tanky as well, but yeah, like I said, Cupcake probably could have kept Blinky alive a few crucial moments longer, and there was no response dive from Too Easy. They want to fight more in the rivers than they do in the lanes, and maybe even use those choke points.
They know Shiny's low and actually cut off on the rest of his team, so they're moving in and at the very worst, going to drop a ton of vision. Drop a ward there, it's about to expire, come on. Oh well.
Not quite going to bother.
Not going to have vision there.
Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of setting up these lanes. They're going to go ahead and do what they did before, just maybe try not to commit to a fight too much if they can help it. Take it a little bit slower. Like I said, sieging, not quite their forte. Oh, Archael. Maybe a bit of an awkward spot in that rotation. Actually did get stunned by the parallel convergence. I mean, he had Blinky there. He probably wasn't going to be in too much trouble, but they do still have to respect Bunbun's damage on their crucial targets.
Still a half health Archael after that. He's going to get some of his health back. He'll be all right, as long as it's before the next team fight. In any case, Too Easy are doing a very similar thing to what they did before, but the difference is Villains already have everyone ready to defend this turret. Villains are calling what Too Easy's game is and matching it.
And a lot less vision this time as well for Too Easy. That gold lead not quite as big as last time either, so they didn't quite get it right the first time, and now the stakes are a little bit higher. Looks like they might go for a bit of a Baron play instead.
Of course, can't quite go for the Baron just yet. Do need to complete that vision control around the big purple worm. And you just don't have the big purple worm. Well, it's very easy for anyone that doesn't know who the heck a Baron is.
You just say the giant snake.
The giant snake.
Snake in the pool.
Yeah, no, I think there are too many names we can give this one, but Villains, they know that Too Easy have headed back to home, or at the very least are very split up. Dolph's going to go in for a warding journey, maybe a little bit too far on his own. Needs to be super careful.
They know that they can actually still burst down a squishy target if they get a big catch. I mean, we kind of mentioned that in the Champion Select as well. Jack Attack is basically the only tank for Too Easy, so they do still need to respect the damage that can come out of the villains. If they get a catch, if they get a pick, and Dolph's can definitely set those up.
We talked about the sieging potential of Too Easy a whole lot, but Villains, they bring a lot on their own. They've got Sivir for the wave clear, they've got the pick potential underneath the turrets coming up from Dolphs, and diving coming up from Bunbun. But with 30 seconds to go for the Dragon, it's not going to be about diving, it's going to be about the objective control.
Yeah, and you can imagine these teams might want to go ahead and trade objectives as well, so this is really going to be on to who is able to pick up the Baron out of that trade.
But it's going to be key. Who gets the vision right now? We've seen Villains actually kick Rin Toyama out of their own jungle. He's left 1 or 2 wards there.
Hasn't cleared out anything in the Baron pit yet.
Really needs a whole lot more. But the key thing from both teams, like you said, not clearing wards yet. Oh, Cupcake walked into a death bush.
He does, but Dolphs might be the one going to die here. The root not quite going to connect as Cupcake smartly backs out. But that means Dolphs, if he commits to this Dragon, is going to be doing it a little bit subpar in the health department. All members of both teams going to start rotating in for this one, though, and actually it's Villains kind of backing away for a moment here.
Yeah, with Dolphs dropping in the health bar department a little bit too much there. Didn't want to back off. Neither team has huge amounts of vision control. Villains definitely don't have any vision behind the Dragon right now, so it's going to give Too Easy the chance to move in, drop wards. You can see, they can't even see the Dragon at all.
Yeah, and because there's enough damage from Too Easy, they're going to be able to pick this one up. Ocean Drake for them, bit more gold in the pocket, nice pickup, and Villains aren't even going to be able to trade that one for a Baron. In fact, all of their Baron vision has now expired, so Villains...
Call on the back foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally you want to match objectives for at least something. Maybe not an equal value, but at least something.
You want to be on the front foot.
Instead, just getting maybe a little bit of CS, not even getting a huge amount of vision control. They have the opportunity now, while Too Easy are going for recalls, to move in, and I've been saying it before, I'm going to say it again, getting vision control around Baron. They have a good team fight for Baron just because Kensti brings so much damage in a certain area.
I'd really like to see them maybe go ahead and try and set it for a siege on this top inner turret. Certainly an easier one to crack, for now at least, than that bottom one.
Can it be quite...
yeah, they need a lot of vision control for that.
Villains might be matching that though, because they've got a ton of pink wards up in that top side of the map. But unfortunately for them, Too Easy going to go back to the same bottom side of the map, maybe hang around the middle side. Too Easy though. They've had great vision control in the early game.
Cupcake's just a one-man army clearing out.
Yeah, Cupcake. Got to be careful when you do that though. Warding and clearing wards, you've got to do that with your jungler.
There is a bit of a collapse potential though, so it feels fairly safe doing it. Going to get some deep vision of his own down. That one does get swipped out, but certainly does look like Too Easy going to set up for a siege here on this inner turret and bottom lane.
Key thing for Too Easy to do, fine. Trust me. But the thing for Too Easy to do, apparently it's this.
Yeah, it is this. They're going to try and get the dive onto Kensti first as well. Committed to Chaos Storm. RKL Flash, going to try and get the damage. A nice stunner from Kensti, but they've got the standing out onto Blinky to keep him alive. They do lose RKL. Now Blinky dashing away over the wall. He's trying to fight, but he hasn't got any protection. They're focusing Dolks as the wrong member. He does not deal the damage. It is Shiny dealing the damage alongside Bun Bun. They pick up a double kill onto him. Cupcake miles away from this fight. Absolutely no help. The Team Jack does scoop up one on the back side of it, picking up Dolks at long last, but he drops down, and again the Villains find a favorable fight on the back foot.
Shiny completely untouched in that fight, positioning superb, using the wall to his advantage. What are Villains going to pick up from this? They've got the option at 2 turrets in the mid lane or the Baron. With only Cupcake alive, it's going to be very hard for him to contest either of those.
And to be honest, it really feels like Too Easy are going for fights they don't need. They committed a few too many resources to Kensti. They did not have all their members in position to fight, and they absolutely paid for it there. They can't afford to make that mistake again. As much as they're still ahead, that lead has shrunk, and we are later in the game where the percentage lead is also much, much smaller.
24 minutes into the game. Death time is not super long right now, so Too Easy going to be back out the door straight away. They've now got the chance, while the Villains have recalled, to go get all those wards around the top side of the map. With Dragon light years away, we're going to see the Baron as the next main target.
Now we're going to go ahead and clear out the vision for that one. Too Easy. Gonna maybe take it a little bit, not necessarily slow, but certainly a bit more cautiously. Need to get a bit more gold back in the pockets again. A little bit of that has been chipped away again by the CS. Now has completely swapped hands in that bottom lane.
Yeah, and Villains moving in with a commanding presence. They've got Echo coming in from the top lane. Bun Bun going to be able to bring that flank. Scuttle Crab is there for the Too Easy right now. So they've got command and control around there. Jack Attack, he might be ages away, but he's got Stand United.
Actually, not just yet. He has to commit with the teleport. That's, it's probably about to come up.
I'm pretty sure it's up now.
Yeah, it was only like if the Villains went for it right then that it wasn't up, but that is now a cooldown available for them. Bun Bun actually doesn't have his teleport at all, so ideal situation is to actually draw out Bun Bun here and then go ahead, clear out that vision if you are Too Easy.
And if you're the Villains, you're looking to blow Jack Attack, Stand United, or teleport, bring him into the field. And we can actually see Too Easy. They picked up a Guardian Angel on Jack Attack. That means
I really like that.
They're looking at the next fight as the most important fight.
Well, it's really, really crucial as well because Jack Attack has been able to do a lot of work, even just in terms of damage, if not tankiness, in these fights. So having to kill him twice, not an ideal situation, especially if you can land a taunt onto Shiny. That would be absolutely key in the next fight. Bun Bun now drawn out to this bottom lane without that teleport, so this is the opportunity here for Too Easy to make a bit of a power play across the map. They are at least going to clear out some Baron vision.
And you can see them actually moving in. They have the opportunity. We've got Shiny pushing down the mid lane, maybe a little bit too far forward. He's all right. He's going to be fast enough. But Too Easy, they need to either get vision control or just straight out start the Baron to draw something out of the Villains right now, because they've got the advantage in the bot lane, but for how long?
Yeah, Bun Bun, he does do a little bit of damage now compared to before. Jack Attack not quite going toe-to-toe. It's still fairly even. It's still mostly a wet noodle fight.
Neither of those guys are
well, I mean, Jack Attack's noodle is a little bit soggier.
That is disgusting.
Or like when you leave your ramen in the bowl for too long. Come on, man.
I get it. It's not going to do a whole lot.
Because it's a wet noodle fight. You know what? You know what? I have earned no judgment from you for that comment.
All right, it's all right. It's common. It's a common saying, and you worked it well. In any case, though, every time Too Easy command control around the Baron, get the wards down, villains are there seconds later to clear those wards. And look at the map right now. It's painted red around the Baron. It doesn't help that the Baron buff itself is actually kind of a bit red. So it's purple, but you know, it's closer already.
Yeah, villains, even when they've got a little bit of a gold deficit, still able to clear vision fairly safely. Playing a little bit of chicken there, maybe wanting to set up a bait. Too easy, they know better, they're not going to commit to that, but this does give villains the positional advantage over the Baron. Means Too Easy if they wait for too long going, no, there's definitely a bait.
Oh, here we go.
Some things being committed. Rintoyama, he's going to have to dash away over the wall. I think he's going to be able to get out as On the Hunt will eventually expire. That wasn't ultimate committed. Quite a short cooldown one though, and it does reveal what the villains were planning. Doesn't really give Too Easy much info.
Now with a major cooldown down, Too Easy are still going for this Mountain Drake. It's dropping very quickly, but look at the villains. They're moving up towards that Baron. They've got the teleport ready for Bun Bun. They're going for a trade.
Yeah, but it might be a little bit too late because the dragon is already gone. Unless they can get this Baron down really fast, it's going to be a collapse here. It is going
Look
pretty
how
quickly.
fast it's going down.
Already below half health. They don't have Bun Bun yet, but he does have teleport. They do pick up the Baron, and this means Too Easy to commit to a fight. There's already the ultimate out from Braum. He eats a whole culling and drops down. No, Shiny! Shiny's caught! That's the key one! At the top of the fight, they find it. That means Too Easy have total precedence as the villains scatter to the four winds. Dolphs drops down, and only Kensti and Bun Bun get away. Bun Bun as well, not even running in the ideal direction. This means Too Easy can run down towards that base.
They need to send Jack Attack there to clear the minions anyway, so he'll be able to deal with him, or at least keep Bun Bun from recalling. Too Easy are going to clear through this inhibitor. There's only Kensti alive. He's got no ultimate. Dolphs is miles away.
Remember last time as well, they dove Kensti, and it was because there was follow-up that he got out alive. This time, there's no one to save him. Bun Bun has only just arrived, and there is still a numerical advantage for Too Easy. And here they're going to go, commit a stand united, onto Rintoyama's back. They're just going to go ahead, take this inhibitor if they can. Actually, no, a Shiny back up in a couple of seconds. They don't quite get it. They do get a turret, ends up being a 1-for-1. Good for Too Easy, but not as good as it could have been. Kensti really cleared up well there.
So they do actually still have a few members with the Baron buff, so they can go for a siege. Pretty key members as well, Bun Bun and Kensti, both going to be on very different sides of the battlefield, particularly when split pushing comes to the table. Bun Bun, no teleport though, so if they're going to split push, it's all or nothing.
And the key thing there though was that time around Too Easy were able to get a favourable fight, picking up Shiny very quickly. Whoa, never mind all that. They're going to go ahead and commit because it's spotted. But Blinky's not there. Archaeo's already dropped down. Cupcake the focus now. Jack Attack, he can't take up all of those people at once as Bun Bun finds another. This is a terrible misposition by Too Easy. Blinky only just arriving to the side of the fight. Rintoyama goes in to scoop one up as the Guardian Angel pops. He's going to come back up, but I don't think they can really pull on the damage. Blinky's going to try and go for it, but he's too far forward. He picks up one. Perkle onto him now. They do get one back. He goes on. Bun Bun going deep onto him. Rintoyama tries to get one back, but Kensti and Bun Bun, the last men standing, are able to just barely pull it out, and they were the ones who held the Baron buff too.
And that is the ace. No one is alive to defend this inhibitor turret. The first person up is going to be Archaeo. They can take down this turret, but
I don't know if they can get an inhibitor. I don't think they can finish the game. For a moment I thought, well, maybe the death time is long. Cupcake is going to come up in a second. But this inhibitor going down is crucial. It means that even if Too Easy get the mid inhibitor, it's actually even Stevens for them. It does not equate to a lead anymore. Too Easy completely caught out. Did not expect the villains to go aggressive and did not respect the Baron buff still being up on two members.
Key thing to remember against a Sivir composition is any moment they can be rushing straight underneath your turret. You've got your AD carry in the bottom lane. Of course he's not going to be there in time. Villains are going to notice that their macro play has been one of their biggest strengths with Dolph's shot calling. So they always know when the key moment to go in is.
Of course, by the time Blinky arrived, front line was kind of donezo. In any case, they were able to kind of keep it fairly even. The villains did walk away with the advantage. Now the gold dead even means the villains are going to get total control over this dragon pit. Still a while away for Elderdrake though.
Bun Bun, he's a little far forward, but he's got his team to back him up.
Actually,
they're actually moving in.
They want to go for Jack Attack. It's going to take a while to burst him down, but if they can get him, that is a good start there because he's the only tank of the team. They don't quite get him, but they are going to be able to seize down this turret.
And in the middle lane as well, Super Minions are continuing to push. They can set up the siege and leave the Super Minions to do their work for them. Leave too easy to send someone off and answer. They've got Shen, so they've got the tools to do it, but this turret is dropping so quickly.
Yeah, they can't commit to a fight. Blinky going to use the culling just not even on the minions, which would be the usual thing there. Trying to get them onto Kensty. And there's going to be the commit now for the villains. They've already gone in, catching Jack Attack first. He's tanking up as many as he can. But here's going to be the recollapse by Too Easy if they can find the right angle. But no, villains are ducking and weaving and have already found Jack Attack now with no frontline tank. I don't know if Too Easy can even pick someone. They're trying to duck and weave all the same, but it is so hard on that miasma field. And now villains again going to play patient with Super Minions pouring in the mid lane. They can take their time.
They just need to continue the pressure. Look at that Nexus turret, already half HP, as Super Minion still punching its face. This inhibitor turret is about to fall, and Too Easy don't have the numbers to contest it.
Perkle's the only one who's low, and he isn't even the one you want to go after. You're looking for Shiny or Kensty, but you can't even get past
Perkle!
Kale! He finds Perkle on the back line, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Dolphs goes sky high. They do get an inhibitor. Too Easy going to try and look for a rundown. Bun is still actually really tanky, and they don't have the movement speed to chase down the villains here. Bun, even just stutter stepping is making Too Easy reconsider. But Blinky wants it, goes out of culling. Kensty is going to stop up any more chase. They're still respecting the damage, as they should. I don't know if they're not even sure if they're committing to the chase here. They're using some things and then they're kind of ducking back. Smart call though. They do not lose a Nexus turret, crucially, but with 2 inhibitors down now, Too Easy's lead has evaporated completely.
Too Easy can't afford to chase like that again. That could have so easily gone wrong, and they would have lost Nexus turrets to Super Minions. Right now, they've got to keep calm, stay inside their base, keep it alive, and get their feet back on the ground. 2 inhibitors down. They've got a long time to stay in this fight, and with Baron and Dragon about to come up, they're going to lose some objectives here, I've got to say.
No doubt. They definitely cannot go for the team fights now. Weren't even able to find them when they were ahead. Too Easy. Now need to try and get their feet back in this game, and they have to kind of do that by fighting. They really need to wait for the villains to come to them, or perhaps even catch them out of position.
Of course, you might have a fight here. Both teams know that they have the ability to win a fight, but villains so far have proven that they've been the winners of the last few team fights. With the gold lead, with the position on the Dragon, it could be suicide for Too Easy to contest here, but they've got to do something.
Yeah, they want to at least try. They're going to go ahead and commit to this Drake here.
They can't.
Yeah, exactly. If they do, then Bun just kind of keeps pressure up on the top side. They kind of want to try, though. Oh, they need to not go too deep onto Dolphs. Dolphs is actually going to go up into the air. When he drops back down, he doesn't even
the teleport.
Oh, that's a sneaky escape from Dolphs. And yeah, the teleport committed now. They have committed Jack Attack. Yeah, Bun is going to come in from the flank. But Too Easy have been able to get out. Now they're going to look to regroup, getting the cutting down on as many people as they can. Oh, but they're all into the Cassiopeia. Oh, they're finding one in Jack Attack, but he hasn't been able to land a taunt just yet. This is just the villains keeping Too Easy corralled. Too Easy though, they want to try and commit to a fight. They don't want to get pinned though. If they commit to this side, then Bun gets behind them. This is exactly what he's doing, is he finds Archael. The rest of Too Easy are trying to find villains, but they're just scattering away. Not going to let it happen. While the Super Minions are busy at work in the base. They've already got 1 Nexus turret. Too Easy cannot do this any longer. And if someone dies, oh no, Archael going down. Now the villains are looking for more. They've committed in Bun. He's looking for Blinky. They don't quite find him. Shiny getting taunted up, but there's going to be no follow-up for Too Easy because they cannot afford to fight here. Rintoyama totally split from his team. The other 3 members are trying to run back to the base, but it's just not safe. Jack Attack finally falls down. Bun is only going to lose their Guardian Angel. Villains with all of their members, with all of the time and all of the pressure. They're going to find Rintoyama any second now. I don't know if they have enough health bars to really close it out.
It doesn't matter. Honestly, the Super Minions on the base, they have arrived to defend it. Rintoyama setting back in.
Well, he's just kind of wasting Perkle's time, and they're not going to fall for it here. But the rest of them, look, they're already committing to the Nexus. They want to go in for it. They don't even bother with the inhibitor. They're just right on top of this one. The Super Minions had already done the work. The villains, even with Too Easy retreating, even with them getting that health back up, they had done just enough that they could close out the game. Wow.
Oh. Too Easy. It was looking so good for them in the mid game when they had the Lucian snowballing, the Shen getting ahead and becoming an incredibly tanky front line, and then Villain's macro play kicked in, backed up by the fact that they were still winning in CS. And they do this every game.
Exactly. And the thing is, Too Easy established a really strong early lead, and they had a good win condition that they had already started executing on. And then they stopped executing on it. They went for dives, they went for fights, and that was where the Villains wanted to be winning the game. That was how they were able to get back in. So what Too Easy can walk away from that with is they know they can get an early lead over the Villains. They just need to execute a little bit cleaner. We're going to go ahead and see if they can execute a little bit cleaner on Game 2, or where the Villains are going to pick up their second 2-0 now of the NZGC. We'll be back right after these messages.
Every challenge is a call to play smarter, to push further, to be better. That's why we put every aspect of gaming under the microscope. We are Logitech G. Gaming is our passion. Winning is our pursuit. Science is our method.
And welcome back after that pretty stunning Game 1. And it feels weird to say it for the Villains, but shock turnaround in their favour. We're going to go ahead and look ahead to Game 2 now. Go ahead and look ahead. That's how it works. We're going to look at Game 2 now, see if Villains can maybe close out the 2-0.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, Too Easy had a great start, a great mid-game, and now they know that they can do it. They've just got to match Villains' macro play, match Dolph's shot calling. Honestly, I reckon this series is going to go to game number 3.
I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I also wouldn't be surprised if it didn't, because to the Villains' credit there, and this is really why they're still the best team right now in the nation, is because even when they were behind, they were putting everything they could in place to allow them to come back if they were given that window. You know, sending Kensti off to sidelines, all that jazz. So Villains showing that they can really keep calm under pressure, and the pressure is kind of not on now because they've got a win under their belt. In any case, we're going to go ahead and take a look at these two teams one more time before we jump on into Game 2.
So your winners of game number 1 in the series were the Villains. So let's take a look up at these guys first. So in the top lane, we're going to have Bun Bun. Prowling in the jungle is going to be the captain of the team, Dolphs. Kensti in the mid lane, and in the bottom lane, working together, it's going to be Shiny and Perkle on your AD carry and the support.
Yeah, of course, coming up against them, losing game 1 despite an early lead is going to be Too Easy. As we always introduce them, our second seed from the main qualifying game. Jack Attack up top, Rin Toyama in the jungle, Kale in the mid lane, and our featured matchup of the week, and then an AD carry and support is going to be Blinky and Cupcake, the dynamic duo, as it were.
A lot of respect for them actually coming out from the Meet the Players video. They were asked who they were most worried about in the NZGC. A lot of people said Blinky, a lot of people said Cupcake.
A lot of people said Dolphs.
Dolphs said Dolphs. Which is honestly very, very true to his character. Very, very confident player, to say the least.
Yeah, to say the least.
Honestly,
I'd say a little bit more than that. In fact, I'd say after this Wednesday just been, I think a lot more people are willing to see the Villains knock down a peg, and maybe tonight is going to be where that starts as we jump on into Champions League for Game 2. So with Game 1 in mind, are we expecting any major changes in the bans?
Well, in Game 1, we saw a few target bans, quite a few bans actually targeted at the AD carry roles, showing a lot of respect for Blinky and Shiny, respectively. Maokai was also banned out in Game 1, same with Jin, but Maokai against Jack Attack, it's just
Of course you got to ban it.
Yeah, it's a potato tank. It's his playstyle, right? Jack Attack very known for playing those big tanks that honestly don't do a whole lot of damage, but never die. And taking that away from him, probably one of his favorite tanks as well, very key. So far though, bans pretty identical.
Yeah, Jin coming out, Caitlyn as well, taken away from Blinky. This time they are going to go ahead and take Cassiopeia away from Kensti. I do like that adaptation because, of course, he was a lot of the reason Villains were able to find their way back in that game. First of all, it was Too Easy diving and not quite killing him because of how he positioned and how he played that dive out. And also just taking the time to go ahead and farm up side lanes when he had the opportunity, and also not doing it unsafely.
Kensley, though, has a very deep champion pool.
Yeah.
He's able to play a lot of champions, and that's not to say RKL can't, but it may be a little bit risky target banning against Kensley. But key champion, like you said in game 1, taking that off the table. We'll see if they can do it. Trundle coming out again, though.
Yeah, I like the Trundle ban and actually Gangplank as well. The next one to be taken away, so 2 top laners. Though arguably Trundle can be a support. Now we're going to have to see what villains want to take off the board first. Again, Cassiopeia and... sorry, not Cassiopeia. Sivir and Karma are both available. And hey, it's a Blitzcrank.
I'm going to do, not mic drop, because I can't drop this mic, but...
It's a lapel mic,
pen drop, right? Blitzcrank! Blitzcrank! Oh my god, Perkle!
Blitzcrank!
What Blitzcrank?
Blitzcrank!
Okay, let's calm down for a second and actually talk about...
This is interesting.
So, I mean, picking Blitzcrank in itself is interesting. This is first pick Blitzcrank. And you can already see, Too Easy are sitting there, not hovering champions, they're thinking, what is going on?
Well,
what do we pick?
Blitzcrank can only ever be in a pick comp, or at the very least turns any comp into a pick comp. I like the patient start off here. Just going to go ahead and take Sivir and give Nidalee back over to Rin Toyama. So that takes Sivir away from Shiny as well. Leaves Karma on the board. Well, actually, no, it can't even be Karma on the board, of course, because
Blitzcrank top.
Yeah, Blitzcrank's already there. Well, they could do a Karma mid. That's always an option, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Dolphs on Elise. And like I said, pick comp, right? Just stuff that's going to marry into a pick comp. Syndra being Hobbit, I would absolutely agree with that.
Syndra, the queen of pick compositions, honestly. Pick that up with Elise as well, and you've got a very standard Season 3 composition that we saw a lot of picks coming out. Of course, Blitzcrank a little bit strange in that, but in any case, like you said, Blitzcrank's got to make it a pick comp. These 2 champions would make a lot of sense, looking to just find singular targets with long-range stuns, long-range hooks even, take them out of the fight before it even begins, and then go in with a numerical advantage. Eve would be an interesting one, though. But, honestly, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, so it looks like we've just actually received a word. Now, Blitzcrank is a Karma. It is just a placeholder pick. There is still plenty of exciting stuff to talk about, though, because Aurelion Sol has been locked in for the mid lane.
Okay, let me get my breath back after the Blitzcrank.
Oh, so excited.
I know, I'm so excited.
Blitzcrank.
But, in any case, Aurelion Sol. Recent patch, 6.18. He's now been bug fixed, so you can't actually see him when he's not somewhere else, right? So he's now actually viable to be played in competitive matches, right? Aurelion's, Aurelion Sol actually equals Shen.
Lots of placeholders. Villains going ahead and making liberal use of the placeholder. So, by the way, for those of you who do not know what placeholders are, of course, the way Champion Select works is you do often want to hide certain picks so that you can avoid unfavorable matchups, which means not everyone will own all of the champions. Sometimes you will pick a champion that is not the champion you want, tell the other team what champion it's going to be, then you jump back into Champion Select again a second time when all your picks have been locked in, you shuffle around the right way, and then we have a Karma and a Shen.
Yeah, so just to be clear, Blitzcrank is Karma, Aurelion Sol is Shen.
That actually takes Shen away from Jack quite crucially. They're going to give him Na instead, which I do like out of Too Easy, but makes it a little bit trickier for him, I feel, in that top lane. I mean, it's still tanky, right? I mean, he likes those tanky champions, but like you said, it's not quite his comfort zone.
He's got a lot of experience on Na, and moving into the Shen, if Shen plays it right, he can dodge a lot of damage, particularly out of Hyper, which also, by the way, nerfed in this patch, just a small amount, so he's going to have almost a rough time against Bun Bun in the top lane on that Shen. But if he's able to play it correctly, Na is such a bully, can actually take Shen out of lane nice and early on. But also, that Bard pickup I love, Cupcake loves to roam, and if you're going to do it on any support, who better than Bard?
Yeah, I really like the Bard pickup there. With the Sivir as well, just it kind of provides a good number of tools. The only thing I'm seeing right now out of Too Easy is a lack of tanks again, and I would like to see them pick up a tank for this last one. But before we go ahead and talk about that, oh my. Hecarim and Shen, where have we seen this before?
Well, if you were not tuning in on Wednesday night,
First of all, why not?
First of all, why not? Villains played a Shen and Hecarim composition then, and absolutely, there's no easy way to put this, demolished Dakota Esports.
Yeah, they did
with
that Karma as well.
Yeah.
The move speed boost is just so phenomenal on those two. It's this incredible cavalry charge. You've got Lucian to follow up for the team fight. You got LeBlanc to help find picks. It's just a really, really devastating charge, funnily enough. And it is going to be Lysandra picked up as the last one for Too Easy. We're going to jump back into Champion Select in just a moment with those placeholders all shuffled about and in the right order. So that'll be quite a quick run through. So we'll have a little bit more time actually to talk about some of these picks. I want to touch on that Lysandra as the last pick up there because first of all, it's going into a LeBlanc. I do like that pickup for that reason. Second of all, I just said would like to see them get some more tanks. Lysandra a little bit less tanky this patch, but still the go-to tanky, damaging mid laner. Let's be real.
The key thing is about the Hecarim Shen composition, right, is that it comes in with a sudden burst of an onslaught, right? An onslaught of shadows because that's his ultimate. But they're all there in a sudden instant. Two key pickups coming out from Too Easy are going to make the defense strategy against this way more important, right? They've got Bard and they've got Lysandra. Lysandra can alter herself if she's ever in trouble, and Bard can just throw the Tempered Fate on the key targets on his team, hopefully catching Hecarim, maybe Shen at the same time, and locking them up, giving them a second or two to breathe and take notice of what's going on, and then take control of the team fight back.
Well, the thing I kind of want to touch on as well is Lysandra, with quick enough fingers, can just ult the Hecarim with the Shen on the back. Then Sivir pops on the hunt, the entire team backs on out, and like you said, you can kind of back away, reassess the fight, and when you've got something like a Na and a Nidalee, that's a really, really powerful tool for you. Because once that first charge hasn't connected, there's not a whole lot of follow-up this team has. I mean, they can try and land a taunt, but then there's going to be a Bard that can help his team, going to stun up anyone who tries to follow the taunt up. You've got the Na who can slam the squishies against the wall. You've just got so many re-engage tools once you've stopped that first charge, and they've got the tools to do that. So Villains, this worked on Wednesday, but they're playing it against a very different team comp here.
Very, very different indeed. But of course, we're talking about how Shen and Hecarim, team fight for Villains, right?
Team fight.
Don't do that, please.
Right.
Never
Well,
again.
Look, you put it in my head now.
I have put it in your head. But
Sorry.
they can do other things, right? They're very fast, they're very mobile, they've got a lot of burst damage, they can go for some picks, right? LeBlanc, an assassin-based champion in the mid lane. Now, we haven't seen that style of champion for a very long time, so they could move around the map and look to take out picks, like we were talking about before. Maybe they don't have blitzkrieg, but they can still definitely go for picks.
They absolutely can, and I feel like that's what they're going to need to do, especially if they really want to get ahead for those devastating charge type team fights, you know, the cavalry being there and whatnot. Let's take a bit of a breather though while Arcadian does all the talking for us, and we'll be right back.
Powered by Playtech. Hey guys, my name's Arcadian and welcome to How to Play League of Legends, where I'm going to walk you through the basic concepts around one of the world's most popular online games, all so you can get a piece of the action. The first topic we'll be looking at is something that many people call last hitting or CSing. Now, obviously, the goal in League of Legends is to destroy the enemy's core structure, the Nexus. But to do that, you first need to shut your enemy out, because what makes the difference between them stomping you or you stomping them is which items you have. Think of items like accessories to your car. You start off with a stock standard car, just the regular, but add a turbo, an exhaust, and now you're ready to race. This is where you want to be, and the faster you can get to this point, the better off you'll be. The thing is, just like in the real world, these items cost gold, and gold isn't easy to come by. Players get a small amount of trickle of income throughout the game, but the only reliable way to get gold is by killing either your enemies or their minions. And this is where last hitting, or CSing, is born. When a player deals the final damage, and only the final damage on a minion, they're granted a small amount of gold. About 15 of these minions are worth the same amount as killing an enemy player. In professional and higher level play, the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game are focused very heavily around players trying to get as many last hits as possible, while simultaneously stopping the enemy from getting theirs. Statistically, there is a very strong relationship between how good a player is and how many of the enemy minions they can extract gold from in the opening minutes of the game. And so if you're looking to go pro, this is an art that is vital to master.
Alright, well thanks very much Arcadian. We have about a minute or so before we go ahead and hit the riff for Game 2, so let's just do a bit of a recap of these team comps. What are the win conditions for these guys?
So we talked about it a lot in a few minutes ago. Villains with the Hecarim Shen composition, they're just going to want to trample all over you in team fights, go for that really long range engage. They've got a few other tools they can use. Of course, they've got Lucian. It's similar to Game 1. Similar to Game 1 with Too Easy, where they ran Lucian. They're looking to get a mid-game power spike, right? They're meant to snowball off the early game. Too Easy, however, have a lot of tools to deal with that.
Yeah, and we were kind of speaking about that as well. In fact, they've got like the exact tools to deal with this, right? So the thing I kind of want to touch on with that is the Villains pulled this exact thing out on Wednesday against Decode. Kind of threw Decode into disarray as well, because Decode had come in with their own plan, and it wasn't a plan to react to what the Villains picked up here. Too Easy have now seen the Villains do this. They know that they like to do it, and they know how it's done, which means they now know exactly how to counter it, and they've picked exactly how to counter it, in my opinion.
So I think Too Easy, their win condition, it's team fights, but the difference to Villains is that Too Easy want to win team fights in a reactionary style. They want to force Villains to bring the team fight to them, and then, like I said a few minutes ago, use the Tempered Fate, use the Frozen Tomb from Lissandra, even defensively, just to survive the team fight. Take a second or two to realize what's going on, and then use that all-powerful Gnar ultimate. You've got Nidalee off in the wings, reactionary, but also keeping vision so they know what's coming.
And it's a bit of an odd one because, of course, Villains want to do exactly that, so maybe they will play right into Too Easy's hands here. That being said, last game they were confident with their team fights. Going to see if they're confident again as we go ahead and hit the riff for game number 2. Villains sitting on a 1-0 lead. Can Too Easy start to pull it back?
Too Easy, of course. They're looking at best 3 points coming out of the series with that 2-1, if they can pull it off. But that's 2 games in a row. And it's against the defending champions. A lot of pressure coming onto the Rift right now. They're on their last life this week. They're ready to defend. And as you can see, they're not taking any risks early on. But Shiny and Perkle, I think they're out for blood.
They absolutely are. Or at the very least, out for Grump. They know exactly where Blinky is. And like I said, out for Grump. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and bully out that Grump start. Jack attack on deep for a ward. He's going to take a bit of damage from Kensti on the way back, but no dramas.
I think, now we also saw this in Game 2 where they ran the same composition. I think Villains are going to play very aggressively just as these jungle camps spawn. So it's going to be absolutely crucial that Too Easy keep the vision on the entrances of their own jungle, particularly around that Grump. Make sure that no shenanigans, I'm going to say it again, shenanigans.
Come on.
No action, no battle, no blood is shed around Grump. But they're not doing it. They're actually just coming straight into lane. They've got about 15 seconds to head back up, though. They need that. They've got a ward there, so that's going to keep it clear.
I don't know that they can get back to Krugs in this time. Actually, they are going to retreat to Krugs, and it's going to be Too Easy.
They're looking for the cheese.
Yeah, they're setting up something cheeky.
But it's wooded.
Yeah, it is wooded. And well, actually, what this could be is a catch as...
a counter catch.
No, they can't, because like you said, wadded. So there's going to be no catch out of Too Easy, and they just come into lane with an experienced disadvantage.
Yeah, and of course the minions aggroing onto them in that bush means that, well, Blinky and Cupcake are going to know what's going on. They figured it out, that's right. But they've completely blown their chance to get an early experience lead by taking a jungle camp. Didn't even go for pushing the lane early on because they thought they were going to get the jump. So already on the back foot for that bot lane.
Karma benefits from that level 2 a lot more than Bard as well, so the fact that Shiny and Purple have kind of secured that for themselves is good news for them. Cupcake, though, still going to feel quite comfortable on that. Now, all lanes just kind of taking it slow, taking it easy. Jack attack with the early level 2 up top actually is quite crucial. If he can stop Bunbun's level 2. Nope, never mind. There's the last CS thing.
Pretty hard to stop
Jack
someone's level 2.
Jack attack Mega, though, he is going to get some damage down onto Bunbun. Bunbun's actually taking minion aggro while he's in here, so he does kind of lose out this trade.
A lot of minion aggro there, not even able to use the shield. Rintoyama looking a little bit healthier in the jungle last time we saw him at the start of game 1.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rough start. And also last time we saw him eking out a solid CS lead against Dolph. A little bit harder with Dolph's on that equally mobile Hecarim. But nonetheless, junglers having quite a comfy start.
Also something key to note is Dragon number 1 is going to be the Inferno Drake, the team fighting dragon. And as we said in Champions, like both teams are going to want to do that. So we're going to see a lot of competition going around there. We're only 3 minutes in, and it's a 400 gold lead.
It's actually not an insignificant gold lead. Really, that's coming out of a combination of Blinky and Jack attack. It's only a tiny amount, but I would expect as well to see Rintoyama start to pick up a bit of a CS lead as well, especially if he gets the chance to invade. Dolph still has camps that he hasn't got, though, so it's not really a lead. At least not in the jungle.
Well, if the jungle camps respawn, Maybe he'll be able to get that goal down. Still got blue buff to get as well. So Rintoyama's alright.
He's going to go ahead and get that now. Still looking fairly healthy and he's going to be able to heal up after that. Dolph's looking for the early pressure on Jack Attack though. And that hop cooldown has just been nerfed as well. So Jack Attack is not going to have too easy a time to get out of this. And he's going to go ahead and commit to it. Jack Attack just goes mega. He's too busy trying to kill Bun Bun and he knows he's a dead man. Was busy trying to get a 1v1 skirmish. Dolph's getting the drop on Jack Attack completely.
And super key that they waited for that Mega Nard to come out when the mobility is massively down. Rintoyama,
he wants to answer.
He knows where Dolph's was, so he's looking for some damage.
Oh, and he can thread the needle. Kenzie committed as well. He does get away under the turret, but Rintoyama does not need to get much damage in. Throws the spear! Oh! Just sniper's nest from the bush there. Arcale was the one to draw out Kenzie. Smooth moves. Rin didn't even need to thread the needle. Dolphs wants to go for a return gank now onto Jack Attack, but this time he's got the hop, still got the flash. And he's going to be completely fine. And now Dolphs is overcommitted to this top side because his jungle is now getting thoroughly invaded.
Yeah, you can actually see Rintoyama smashing him in CS, so Dolphs needs to answer somewhere. He's putting pressure on top lane, but Jack Attack very smartly is warning out Rintoyama, dropping a lot of vision around that, like I said, very important dragon on the early game.
Yeah, and Dolphs did not go ahead and clear up that top side of the jungle while he was there, so this is all Rintoyama's Rin Farmer? I don't know. Like, I thought there might be a pun there.
There's no pun there, sorry.
Look, I regretted that the moment I started saying that. Do words ever come out of your mouth in slow motion? It was like that. But in any case, Rintoyama are going to be able to increase the CS lead, exactly what we saw last game as well. So very crucial that 2Easy can do this again if they want to start executing on their team comp.
Kind of important that Kenzie died very early on as well. It wasn't the kill over to Arcale, so it's not going to be a huge advantage. It's time not in the lane though. And Kenzie forced to buy that Negatron cloak as well. Going to make it a little bit harder to put out any kill pressure at all. So we'll see if he can keep that CS lead that he's traditionally had every single game so far of the tournament.
Jack Attack is still playing really aggressive up top there. I think this time there is the information on Dolphs. Ooh, shiny. It's going to be able to dash out. Not quite going to eat the boomerang blade.
Junglers not quite close to level 6 yet. Well, Rintoyama, he's level 5 because he's been out farming. Still with a steady 12 CS lead.
Level 6 isn't all that crucial for Nidalee compared to the Hecarim though.
Very, very, very important for Hecarim, especially Dolphs with the amount of ganking that he has been putting out. Is he going to focus on the top lane again? Right now we're seeing him sitting in the bottom lane. A lot of vision around, but both junglers coming to the mid lane.
Oh, both committed. Kenzie gets stunned up. They're going to try and close it out. They get the clone. Arcale now pushed under the turret. Tanks a shot. Dolphs gets that. The stat noted on Kenzie means Rintoyama can't follow that up. And Arcale overcommitting a little bit there, going on ulting Kenzie as he blinked away. Man, couldn't really follow up, and Dolphs just getting the better movement.
Cupcake trying to find the stun there. A little bit hard against Purple. Shiny as well, pretty mobile. Taking a bit of free damage as well. He's got that snowflake? It's a snowflake, right?
Well, I don't know. It's Elderwood Bard, so it's like some kind of mystical space flower.
Rintoyama though, he's going to walk past a pink ward if he does go down any further.
Dolphs is busy on the return gank in the mid lane, so Rintoyama needs to do something quick if he wants to go for something. They do spot Dolphs, so Arcale is going to be safe, but oh, now Rintoyama's still on a ward. Oh no, he's going to get doted upon. Dolphs, he's found him, charged him against the wall. Rintoyama just kind of stood and let it happen. He's able to dash away, and given that Dolphs knows the bottom lane can roam up, he's not going to commit any further onto that.
Really can't do anything as well because Arcale is nearby. He's level 6, but...
Oh no, Bun Bun's going to flash in and commit to Jack Attack. He doesn't have that ranged Waffle Blade anymore. Jack Attack going mini. This is super tense. Bun Bun, he's going to get a shield up in a second though, so this is not something Jack Attack can commit to. He just has to take the CS deficit that he will accrue from that farm going over to Bun Bun and walk slowly back to lane.
He doesn't have teleport to get back either. I mean, it means he'll have it later on for the team fight with Rintoyama. Come on. That's Dolph's blue buff.
Get away. And Dolphs does get that blue buff. Isn't able to give it over to Kenzie, unfortunately for him. Arcale, though, a little bit more blue buff dependent. He's going to need that when it comes up in the respawn.
Looks like he's heading over, just to be ready.
Yeah.
But more importantly, probably going to drop some vision, I'd hope. Come on, Arcale.
There we go.
Don't prove me wrong. There we are. And Pinkwood as well. So he's
might be looking for a Rift Scuttler as well in that area.
He'd have to spend too much time to do it, lose CS.
That's good. A lot of vision around the dragon area in that bottom side, though, for 2Easy. Gold is looking a little bit more even, but that doesn't really mean much at this point in the game. Like we said, both of these teams just kind of want to take their time ramping up to get to those team fights, and it's all going to be execution of those team fights. Rin doesn't quite pull it off that time. Now he's actually going to try and bully out Dolphs. Actually, yeah, he did still steal it. He's using the early damage really well, but the collapse is going to come in. Dolphs goes ahead with the ultimate, but RKL is there. They get the kill on Dolphs. Now Bun Bun's in trouble because Jack Attack is already in the collapse. They're trying to keep him, keep the pressure on him. The Bard coming in as well. Going to take that very magical journey indeed as they find Bun Bun. Really, really smooth collapse there by Too Easy.
What are they going to take out of this though? They've got the Rift Scuttler, they've got the Jungler nearby. Rift Herald could be on the table. It's very early on.
I would like that on Jack Attack. I mean, getting that on the Nara is good news no matter how you slice it. Actually, Jack Attack has managed to build up a CS lead again in that top lane. So giving that over to him could be very crucial. They're not going to go for it at all, though. They're just going to go back to their lanes for the time being, look for another solid move. But now bottom lane does know that Blinky is... Sorry, Cupcake is nowhere near, or rather that Blinky is unsupported. But he does get back to the turret, no sweat.
Key thing about what happened around that Herald, though, is that villains were, Too Easy were able to drop a lot of deep vision into the villain's jungle. They're going to know when Dolphs is coming back. If they don't see him there, they know he's on the bottom side of the map. RKL, trust me, he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he takes a chunk of damage, but he's already picked up a Negatron Cloak nice and early. Good news for him, and now with Cupcake back into lane. Bot lane's going to be safe too, so Too Easy. They're not going to get the drop on them anytime now, or rather, villains won't get the drop on them. Or will they? Cupcake puts the ward down. Dolphs, yeah, he knows he can't commit. Not when Cupcake can Magical Journey away. Can I just touch on that as well? Because Magical Journey is a great way to escape a charging Hecarim.
That is true. Imagine if he could charge on through with it. But Kenzie is going to be alright. Is he going to turn it around?
Kale commits very deep. He can't really take any more damage there.
Come on, minions.
No, the minions aren't going to be able to get it. But that does not force anything out of Kenzie. Rintoyama didn't quite have the damage. And that does give Kale a bit of room to back up, though.
Neither mid laner has teleport available, so they're going to have to walk on back to the lanes. Neither team getting commanding dragon control, but Bun.
Yeah, Jack Attack just sang and stay there.
I feel like every time these guys start a fight, I should just never stop my point. They're never going to die.
No one's going to die, yeah. I mean, if they do, it's because there's a gank, and we probably saw it coming. But Rintoyama able to pick up more vision around this bottom side dragon, and with that gold lead in their pockets, they might start to look to pressure that soon. I think they want to get RKL just a little bit bigger first.
Yeah, definitely important for that.
Whoa, shiny.
It'll be fine, but it's very, very key that they got all those wards up the river, because that's where Dolphs is going to come, with Shen probably riding on his back as the onslaught comes along. But the other key thing is that Dolphs can just do it from behind the turret. You have to go incredibly deep for that.
And they have the Stand United available. He's already going to start looking for it. Cupcake isn't here, but again, he's going to be able to Magical Journey. Oh, just barely makes it through. Nearly got pushed away from that. They probably wouldn't have had the damage to kill him anyway, but that's the strength that Rintoyama going to answer in the top lane now.
That turret's gone!
Reward, but yeah, the turret is donezo for sure. And Bun might be following it to the grave. It is, wow! Huge damage out of Rintoyama, just the burst from the Nidalee. Nice out-rotation there by Too Easy.
And they pick up the first turret kill as well, getting that bonus gold from the initial demolition. Gonna set them 3,000 gold ahead, and only 11.5 minutes into the game. That kind of lead is huge. Villains need to match it somewhere on the other side of the map. They're getting vision down, but no turret, no kills.
Oh, hold on.
Or am I speaking a little too soon?
Dolphs wants to go in from behind, and Bun's just respawned. He's going to start off with a Grump. He will be going over vision if he goes from this direction, but that's not necessarily a terrible thing if he can just get in quick enough. And, you know, when you're coming from that side, where do you even Magical Journey to as Cupcake?
Cupcake needs to be on point with Tempered Fate. Needs to land it as soon as Dolphs lands.
Maybe Dolphs want to go on the mid lane as well. I mean, he has the options. He is going to commit to the mid lane. RKL, he's going to commit the ultimate onto Kenzie.
Does he ult?
He takes the path out. Dolphs, he commits, but that's the wrong direction because he's walked right into the rest of the members here. Bun finally going to commit with the Stand United. RKL, Kenzie swoops that one up. Rintoyama and Jagdak were too busy taking Rift Herald, but Jagdak's been able to turn one around on Dolphs. He does not have anything to do with Kenzie though. Now Bun in. Rintoyama knows he can't commit. Jagdak's about to go mini, and Bun gets one back. They walked right in. Too easy, but they were too busy with the Rift Herald.
So unfortunate trade there for Too Easy, and it's even being matched on the bottom side of the map as Shiny and Perkle. They've noticed Cupcake's gone. They're starting to rip down this turret. Blinky's back with his wave clear though. Going to keep it alive for a few seconds longer.
Yeah, it was fascinating as well because RKL used all his retreat tools to retreat to his team, who then kind of didn't back him up. Needed to get away to the turret. Maybe would have played that a little differently if he had known Rintoyama was going to stay on the Herald rather than fighting.
Things looking a little bit dark around the Dragon area, but they're going to start it up anyway. This is a dangerous game with no wards around the backside of the Dragon. Dolphs is a while away, and they do actually have vision of that.
It's funny, right? As much as Too Easy don't have much vision. It's not like Villains have any more, and you're right, they know that Dolphs isn't there because of the other vision they have, so they do get that pickup. That is really key. That is an Infernal Drake, and we talked about how this game was probably going to come down to execution on both of these teams' teamfights. Well, having that flat boost to all your stats is a pretty great way to come out ahead of teamfights.
So Rintoyama setting up his own jungle, needs to keep vision control around that river. In fact, just all game wards need to be on their mind because that's exactly how they beat this Villains team comp.
Yeah, RKL continuing to take a bit of damage in this mid lane. Kenzie is going to be a real threat before long. I mean, RKL, he will still ramp up and do a lot of damage, have a lot of defensive stats as well, but I mean, Kenzie, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially, I would say, for Jack Attack, because he is tanky, but he has not got any magic resist and probably won't for a long while.
Actually opting for the Black Cleaver as well. A much more damage-focused build, particularly after Frozen Mallet got changed to give more health than damage. Could have gone that's the route as well, to go more tanky, but definitely, there's no question about it, he wants to deal damage.
Ward spotting out Dolphs again means RKL knows he's not getting committed on. They maybe want to go onto Kenzie, but I think it's a bit dangerous. Kenzie's doing a great job actually of bullying out RKL here now, and RKL is having to blow pretty important cooldowns to stay alive, and that means they're not up for fights.
Oh, the teleport in the bottom lane.
Oh wow, Blinky got low. Not sure what happened there, but Cupcake
does he follow?
No, he gets the long journey back, and yeah, the teleport having been committed by Kenzie kind of bullied out Blinky there. This is probably going to be a turret pickup, unless there's a really whip crack fast response. No, the turret's too low.
It's very, very low. But the key thing right now is that Villains, they need to be very careful while Bun Bun is laning because Jack Attack has kept him straight underneath his turret.
Yeah.
He's been ahead all game. Look at the CS lead.
Yeah, and he's now pressuring out this turret, which means Too Easy can also pressure out the middle turret. So Villains, they might actually still lose out on this trade if they don't rotate quickly enough here. Yeah, the journey's already there to help the retreat.
See you later, Kenzie.
Yeah. Oh no, Kenzie's going in. He's going to get ulted up, but they want to commit. They put someone on his back, but it's not enough. Bun Bun is not going to arrive because Kenzie's already dropped down. Now Dolphs has to retreat. The top and a turret goes down, and the Villains, a little bit of hubris there, overcommitting to the mid lane.
I think that's the second time we've seen that sort of thing coming out from NZGC players right now. Jack Attack, he doesn't need to retreat. Half of the Villains just, well, either died or got forced to recall. They're going for the Rift Herald right now. If Jack Attack picks this up, there is going to be nowhere for Bun Bun to hide without him losing his turrets.
He's already putting a ton of pressure in that top side. He doesn't even need to get turrets now. He just needs to keep Bun Bun occupied. They're going to be able to pick up this Rift Herald. Oh, it's a bit dicey because the fight's going to come in. Rintoyama gets the escape. Cupcake as well. Oh no, the portal closes. Jack Attack is caught on the wrong side in this one. Does unfortunately drop down. So the Villains do get one back on the board, but it is still a 3k gold lead right now for Too Easy.
At the same time as well, Blinky's had plenty of time in this bottom lane. He's going to be able to pick up a turret in response.
No, he's not going to because Kenzie's here. No, Kenzie's here now. Oh, there is, but he has gone ahead and committed it.
He's dodged every spell. He can turn it around.
He's dodged out one. Kenzie's going to try and commit, and you're right, he can turn it around. Bun Bun is going to be here, though Blinky needs to be careful. He didn't spot Bun Bun, and Kenzie went straight back in. He got the turret, but that was... Yeah, he could have waited. He could have got the turret later. Blinky maybe should have just backed up a little, knowing that Kenzie can kill him at any time.
So many small things happening there. That's just setting Villains behind. Not Villains, sorry, Too Easy. Setting them a little more behind than they needed to be. Wow. Jack Attack failing to make it through the portal. Blinky overstaying. Did get the turret. And they're still 4,000 gold ahead. But they can't allow Villains to do the same thing they did in game one.
Yeah, I mean, last game, one of the struggles that Too Easy faced was not always executing as cleanly as they needed to. And you're right, those tiny mistakes. It's really hard to call them mistakes because they are only tiny, but they are mistakes nonetheless. Really speak to them maybe having that same struggle in this game. They do have the gold lead right now, though, and like we said, probably this game will come down to the team fights.
Look at where the gold is, though. It's all on Jack Attack and on Rintoyama, of course. There's a fair amount of CS coming up from Blinky, but he's got no kills, no assists, in fact, 0% kill participation. Come on, mate, help out your team.
Ooh.
But in any case, they're relying on Jack Attack and Rintoyama to bring out the damage right now. Jack Attack's doing that in the top lane, but not on the team fights.
Yeah, and that's a really, really hard place to be relying on your damage from. Meanwhile, the Villains currently have it on Kenzie and Dolphs, and you're much more comfortable with it being on Dolphs, given that he'll be diving, and Kenzie, given that he can burst someone like Blinky out of a fight.
Blinky, though, we've seen his good use of the spell shield, good use of it, even dodging the abilities out of Kenzie, so if he can keep his positioning on point, we should be able to stay alive. Now, the key thing to note is we're still in the mid game, but we're moving further into the late game, and that's where villains are going to be I hate to say it, but a one-trick pony on that Hecarim, right? Because they're not going to have the mid-game power spike coming up from Lucian later on.
Jack Attack now doing in bottom what he did in top, going to start the siege out there. Dolphs gets spotted out on his Gallivant towards the mid lane. And again, too easy, still holding positional advantage over this map. They do still need to play very careful though, because the team fight can kind of come out of nowhere.
Of course, they've got to keep that vision down, but of course we've seen villains. They're moving around, clearing so much vision right now. They've got a scanner on Dolphs, a scanner on Perkle, ready to keep the vision down.
They're a fantastic team when it comes to vision control. Always a strength of theirs. And arguably one of the things that leave them what people would consider a cut above the rest. RKL going to rotate into the mid lane in case that fight breaks out. Yeah, totally spotted out as he does that. I don't think he minds too much, but Dolphs has been spotted as well. They're going to try and get some pressure around this dragon area. They need to respect the team fight though. This is where Hecarim likes to charge.
But of course, look in the bottom lane. Jack Attack is drawing two members of the villains down there. This dragon is dropping incredibly quickly. It's spotted out.
Yeah.
They can't go for a dragon steal, but they could be in trouble.
Oh, nice Tempered Fate. Actually even catches Dolphs the moment to kill him. They need to respect the charge. There it goes, but it catches no one. He missed everyone, and now he drops on down. Cupcake the only one taking damage. There's going to be a culling out. They do find RKL, and now it's all even. Stevens, Blinky getting a ton of damage onto Shiny. They can't quite commit. Oh, Rentoyama goes for it, but he does not. Oh, no, he does. That was so tight, so close. Bun dropping down. Now Kenzie, very little damage on him. It's not quite enough. Cupcake as well, healthy enough on the backside that he's, funnily enough, able to get the double kill. Picks up Perkle, a dragon and an ace, and that is exactly what we said Too Easy needed to do, and that is exactly what they just did.
And the key thing was Dolphs missing that ultimate. He got the damage, but not the fear.
It's hard to even connect it at that point, though, because you've been caught. The other team is ready for it. They scattered. They knew they needed to. And it just worked. That is the catch and re-engage we talked about from Too Easy. Amazing execution by them. And now a 7k gold lead as their reward.
Picking up that Ocean Dragon as well. Going to be able to keep them a little bit healthier as the game goes on. They can even opt to go for a bit of a siege style. They've got Blinky who can clear the waves, Rintoyama who can poke them out underneath the turret, and then, again, threaten the villains. Say, you've got to come team fight us sometime, but we're going to be ready. So you've got to make a choice.
Yeah, that was a lot more even than what this next team fight will be, no doubt. Villains, they do need to bide their time, maybe ramp up a little bit more in power before they look for another team fight, but that is going to be quite tricky. That being said, we did see last game, you know, they made sure that when they got the opportunity for the comeback, they had set themselves up for it. No doubt they will do that again.
Another way that Too Easy can put the pressure on the siege style that I'm talking about, Jack Attack and his split pushing. Look at the CS lead, 60-something CS. He's already got a few kills. He's got 2 completed items, particularly
Frozen
now.
Mallet. Oh.
Yeah, Frozen Mallet. If Bun gets caught out of position for a second, he's not going to be escaping. So Jack Attack is going to be keeping everyone down on the bottom lane if he needs to. He's got Kenzie down there, and Teleport is ready. Also,
it's one of the other tools we talked about, just the straight-up Bard stun. You know, Hecarim runs towards you. Well, that's exactly
here we go!
Oh, they've got the catch again on Dolphs, and he's not going to be able to go charging on in. They already found Perkle as well. Rintoyama closing out that kill. Dolphs now. Run as fast as you can. RKL will always be behind you. Bun,
come on.
Just, oh, stop the backs. They're actually going to try and find Bun as well. Dolphs, really, he's just trying to buy time. He knows he's going down. RKL going to move in to pick up that one as they look to chase out Bun as well. Rintoyama and Cupcake. Bun can't even go toe-to-toe with the jungler and support right now. Oh, Shiny is there to help him out, but I think they're going to be able to get out of this one too easy. They've got the rest of the team able to start collapsing as well. Shiny and Bun, I think the best case scenario is they get out. I don't think they can really get kills. Rintoyama going to be able to hop over the wall. Now Shiny gets stunned up. RKL there for that one. Scoops up a kill. They've got another one on the board. Bun going to get routed and chased down. And again, the villain's looking worse for the wear after the fight.
Kenzie!
No, he doesn't quite trade one back. Cupcake gets out fine.
They're not going for the Baron, are they? No. Okay, Scuttlecrab's there. They're just clearing the vision right now. Dolphs is almost they're going for it. Dolphs is back up, but no ultimate. Bun is ages away.
They absolutely can commit to this, you're right, because Bun, like you said, is ages away. The Baron, it doesn't even need to go super fast, but it is absolutely going fast enough.
Villains can contest.
They can try. They've got Perkle and Kenzie, but they don't have Shiny. They try to go in with Kenzie, and he pays for it with his life as the Baron's already gone down. Perkle on the retreat. Dolphs, he knows better than to commit. And Too Easy now open out the gold lead to a stunning 10,500.
And that's with Baron buff too. Siege potential, split push potential, and team fight potential. Look at the gold lead compared to the top laners. Almost 3,000 gold. That's a very expensive full item for Jack Attack over his lane opponent.
Yeah, that bottom lane turret is not long for this world, to be sure, with Jack Attack. 2 items up and now a Baron buff as well. Bun Bun, we were saying he was having trouble against the jungler and support. Well, he's been having trouble against his lane opponent too. Gold lead is just phenomenal for Jack Attack.
So the question now is going to be how the villains deal with this. They've got a sieged up, Baroned up, Too Easy, ready to run at them at any time.
No, Blinky, he knows he's not going to be too caught out there. Again, Bun Bun is probably not going to be able to go toe-to-toe here. They actually want to go and collapse on Bun Bun. They're going to commit with the Tempered Fate. That lets them set up now. Oh, great timing on the stun. Bun Bun is done, and the turret soon to follow.
Honestly, Bun Bun is done?
Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it.
He is.
But now...
Yeah, so they're going to be able to continue the siege on, keeping Jack Attack in the mid lane actually, while the other 4 go to work on the bottom side, cracking open the base, looking for an inhibitor. No tank available for the defense. They get a catch on the Perkle. Oh, they want Shiny. They actually just dropped him where he stands. Perkle now going to follow. They're going to pick up an inhibitor as well off the back of this one. Death timers are quite long.
Is this game?
I think they want to. They've certainly got the minions for it. I mean, it's 3.
There's 3 of them.
But it's enough because they've got the damage. They've got the Baron buff as well. Dolphs, without Bun Bun on his back, can't commit. Bun Bun is about to come up, but Dolphs now has only 1 turret. And Too Easy. They can just back away. They can just take their time.
Because now they've got the split push potential in the bottom lane. They can drop Jack Attack in the top lane and just siege right down the middle lane. And
it's the 1-3-1. Only the super minions are your other one. It becomes a 1-4-1.
1-4-1. But in any case, another turret falls once more. We've got, what is that? Maths. 15,000 gold lead for Too Easy right now.
Just processing.
I know, right?
I like to imagine you're like one of those savants on a TV show where like the numbers are appearing in the air before
it's
you.
It's like when you watch Sherlock.
53.5 minus 38.7. You got it there. Good job, bud.
You got it. So, yes, 15,000 gold lead.
But the pressure is so immense here from Too Easy. Now, with no inner turret standing, 2 inhibitors still up, but really very little in the villain's favor right now. They've only taken 1 turret of their own, like you said, about 15k in the bank for Too Easy. And this time, they're looking a bit more confident with closing out.
And if you're looking for a siege, particularly an extended one, which would go in the favor of Too Easy, 2 Ocean Drakes is one of the best ways to do it. Any poke that comes out onto you, just heal it back up. Suddenly just keep them pinned inside their base. Super minions will bring them away from your next target, which has got to be those inhibitor turrets. Maybe the Baron, when it comes up.
Eventually. Well, it hasn't even expired yet, sorry, so still a little while away on that one. I don't even
here we go!
Yeah, Dolphy's going to look for the fight. They jump onto Blinky, but he already is able to get away on the retreat. The slam onto Dolphs and Bun Bun. There's no way they're getting out. And a great Intimidate stops up Kenzie. They focus on Perkle and Shiny while they can. Archael, nice on his keeps him alive. Kenzie does find 1, but he is done for this world. There is the ace. Only Blinky died. They used every resource they had on him and barely got him. They're going to lose everything they have for it.
1 Nexus turret's already dead. They could win the game here. They could be the first team to take a game off the villains.
Too Easy, making it look too easy as they draw first blood of the villains in the NZGC. It worked so well for them on Wednesday, but the villains need to reassess how they're going to take out these wins after a stunning defeat.
Villains coming into this tournament incredibly confident. That's the word I'm going to use for it. And well, now they've had their first loss. They've tasted defeat, but we're in a best of 3 series. Villains can still come out of this victorious. They've used their, I'm going to say it again, their one-trick pony style composition. Now they can just go back into it with a style similar to game 1 and see if they can just win out without a bit of a cheesy composition.
Well, that's really, like you said, that's the way they've got to do it. But they've got to be keeping in mind as well, in game 1, they still had a gold deficit. And it was actually Too Easy's mistakes that let them get back into the game. They have to go into this game with a lot more humility because Too Easy, in game 1, proved they can get a lead. In game 2, proved they can win off that lead. And now villains need to really respect their opponents. We're going to see if maybe they have learned a bit of respect in just a few minutes. We'll be right back with game 3, so don't go anywhere.
Every challenge is a call to play smarter, to push further, to be better. That's why we put every aspect of gaming under the microscope. We are Logitech G. Gaming is our passion. Winning is our pursuit. Science is our method.
And welcome back. Before we jump on into Game 3, I am absolutely buzzing with excitement.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we've seen the Villains bleed. After 7 undefeated tournament victories, we've seen them first drop a game and now be at risk of dropping an entire series.
I'm actually really feeling pumped right now. We've got to get into this
yeah.
game as soon as we can. But before we do that, let's take a look at some of the players that have got us so pumped for this series.
Also, first up we have the Villains. The men themselves. There is so much story to these guys, some of the best players in the nation. Like we said, largely undefeated, and in the top lane it is going to be Bun Dolce, their captain in the jungle, the trash talk in himself. Kensti in the mid lane, Shiny at AD carry, and Purple in support.
Honestly, such a terrifying lineup, but we've seen that they can bleed, and Shiny in the series even, we've seen that he can die in the game as well. Going up against them, too easy in the top lane, it's going to be Jack Attack, Rintoy Armor in the jungle, Archael in the mid lane, and our star duo lane, AD carry Blinky, and support is Cupcake. Honestly, these guys put out a stellar performance in game number 2.
Yeah, and I really want to speak to Jack Attack's play there as well. He was absolutely the backbone of the team, but of course, there was general strength in their other laners as well. It was not a case of Jack Attack carrying. It was a case of the rest of the team just playing so clean with the follow-up, even as Archael struggled in that mid lane, our featured matchup of the night. And without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on into Champion Select. Jin already off the board. I want to see if Villains have maybe made some adaptations this time.
I don't think Too Easy are going to. They know they can deal with the Hecarim composition. Why ban that out? But Villains, you're right. They need to start looking at maybe perhaps some different bans. They're going to be on red side this time. So it's possible one of their bans is already locked up in Gangplank. They're still banning out against Jack Attack with that Maokai. But Too Easy, they're going with basically the same bans as Game 2.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jin and Cassiopeia being taken off the board. Caitlyn away from Blinky, and I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being just a fairly stock standard tank out of the top lane, the Trundle or the Gangplank. It is going to be the Gangplank tank it away. Like you said, I'm surprised they didn't leave that open because that would have potentially forced Villains to ban it, but in any case, Villains maybe want to go ahead and ban something like a Gnar here.
Yeah, Gnar already shown to be a great strength for Jack Attack.
Karma.
Karma taken away. We've seen Karma on at least one side per game.
Does that mean they're comfortable leaving Jack Attack on Gnar? And does that mean they maybe want to take away the Trundle?
I mean, we've got to talk about Rintoy Armor as well. He did a stellar performance on Nidalee too, which is definitely justifying this first pickup. It takes it away from Dulce.
As well.
In game 1 too. Dulce, he still has the option to go for Elise once more. Hecarim may be a little less confident in that pick after game 2, but Elise is still there.
Yeah, you can't quite trample all over the enemy team like you would like with that undead pony, so I think he might just steer clear of it this time around. With Karma off the table as well, Villains are actually able to pick up Sivir here and leave the other high mobility champion off the board. That being said, Too Easy have had plenty of ease getting ahead with just this Nidalee, with the mobility coming out of her. Still hovering the Sivir. I think it will be a Sivir locked in. I feel like there's just a lot of questions around what Dulce really takes in the jungle.
Something that could also, yeah, here we go. I was going to say either bring a Lucian Braum lane or at least take the Braum away from Too Easy so they can't get that combination. And again, they like those mid-game power spike team compositions. Just keep it away from them.
And it also takes a tank off the board. Too Easy when they take that Nidalee in the jungle, they rely on their other lanes for tanks. I like what they did last game, having the Lysandra in the mid lane. Really worked wonders for them alongside that Gnar. And of course, in game 1, they struggled when they only had the Shen as a tank. So with Braum off the board, it makes it kind of hard to get a tanky support in the mix for themselves. And they have to kind of find it elsewhere. And you can see everyone's been hesitant to pick top, right? Too Easy want a counter pick for Jack Attack. That is also a tank, which means they can't commit to anything because Trundle is still on the board.
No.
Or you can just commit to Trundle.
The key reason Trundle's picked now, though, is that Jack Attack can play it. It's also a flex pick, which means it can be dropped down to Cupcake and support if villains bring out something that counters Trundle in the top lane. If Jack Attack says, wait, hold on, I don't want to play against that. Cupcake, you take that, I've got the perfect counter pick. But villains, they're going to lock in Gnar, so that option is going to be taken away from Jack Attack if he did want to swap that down to support.
That being said, Shen is still on the board, so they can go with the swap that way. And now really it's going to be a question around what goes into the mid lane, and of course what Dolphs chooses. I mean, there's really any jungler he wants, but he's kind of hesitant here. He knows that it has to be something at least as good as Rintoyama's Nidalee.
Now we are going to
take a bit of a break. Now let's take a breather.
Jump out of the lobby for just a second, but no, the key thing is, right, Dolphs, he's got to pick up his jungler in this rotation of picks because, well, you don't want to leave jungler for last. You're giving up an opportunity as the red side to have a counter pick in any lane you want. Jungle doesn't rely on counter picks at all, so pick it up now in the rotation, leave the last pick in the mid lane so you can pick out a counter to Lysandra if it comes out, Victor if it comes out, anything you want in that situation. Whereas Dolphs, he's probably just going to pick Elise anyway.
Exactly, so yeah, you, like you said, you want to kind of hold on to that counter pick if at all possible. And hopefully we'll be able to jump on back into Champions Select in a few moments. I kind of want to talk about what we've seen already out of both these teams though, right? Because it feels fairly standard. There's been a little bit of strategy going into it, you know, with where that Trundle has been picked up and taking the Gnar away, etc., etc., etc. But at the end of the day, right, both these teams are going to hit the riff with, unless we have some incredibly weird picks in the last couple of picks there, they're going to have fairly standard team comps with fairly comfortable champions across the board, right? And villains are going into this knowing that Too Easy can get early leads. So whatever they pick in these last things, it needs to be something that can stop that from happening.
That's absolutely correct. I think the most important pick, though, has got to be that Trundle. Just because it can be flexed and it's going to be shown how important it is in the next round of picks. If it gets counterpicked out by the Gnar, because of course Gnar deals with Trundle very, very well. Trundle being a melee champion, takes a lot of range harass coming out from the Gnar. So if Jack Attack's not comfortable on that, we'll see if he swaps it down to the support role and see what he picks up. Because I think that's going to be the most important thing, being one of the star players from Game 2 where they won.
Yeah, and I'd actually quite like to see him do exactly that. I mean, Trundle and Lucian is actually quite a strong lane as well, coming up against especially Sivir Braum, you know. If you can displace that Sivir, you can really lay the damage on pretty fast with Lucian. And the pressure that can come out of Subjugate as well, it's only a little bit of health, right? But, you know, you're taking up a culling, you got Lucian hot on your heels, and you're constantly just taking that little bit of health. You also can't just commit to the fight because Trundle will out-sustain you. What do you really do?
And here we are back into Champion Select, and it was Dolphs going to pick up that Elise.
Do not blame him.
Whoops, see you later, Pen.
And now the last two picks for Too Easy. Like I said, I would like to see them actually put that Trundle in the support role. And I really feel like that could be an ace up their sleeve. But they are going to be picking mid lane into a counter pick no matter how they slice it. So they do need something that adds a bit of safety there. And for that reason, I would kind of like the Shen. Thanks for the pen.
Yeah, thanks for getting that pen, Dan. But in any case, it's all back. It's in my hand. It's all ready to go. But
I was getting worried there. Actually, I don't know how we were going to do the rest of this champ select without the pen.
Let's talk about this, right? So what's a good open pick? Lysandra deals with most lanes fairly well. We've already seen him.
Tankiness.
We've seen Archael deal with it into Kensty's LeBlanc, which is still open. We'll see if he picks it up once again. Would go very well with the Elise coming up from Dolphs, going for that pick style composition.
Yeah, it really feels
with 3 seconds to go.
Hey, Macarena! It's going to be Victor for the mid lane. I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's fairly safe, generally speaking.
Good open pick.
But Tahm Kench. The Kench has been unbenched. They've unclogged the frog. They have permitted the Kermit. What do we have to say about that?
Got any more? Or is that it?
Well, I'm going to save some for the game.
Oh, yeah, of course. Right, so
What are threes?
big thing that Tom Kench brings out is he keeps your carries
There's a
safe.
mouth.
There's a mouth.
He's got a big mouth.
Big belly too. You can fit pretty much
He's
anyone
pretty
in there.
big, but his top hat's so tiny.
I know, right? So we're going to see who villains are putting on Kent's team to see whether he's counter picking out that Victor. Like we said, pretty safe, open pick. So Ken's can pick pretty much anything really, as long as it doesn't suffer too much from being shoved underneath the tower. Something like Cassidy could have it a little bit rough, just because it lacks a lot of wave clear, has to go for a lot of trading rather than just surviving the wave clear. Oh,
Yeah,
there we
there you
go.
go.
Now that's a confident pick
Yeah.
after what I just talked about,
You
right?
leave Cassidy open for Kenstey. Well, yeah. We even said, some of these players are going to be on their most comfortable picks, and that's going to be Dolphs on Elise, that's going to be Kenstey on Caston, it's going to be Rin Toyama on Nidalee, right? All across the board. So with that all in mind, we kind of need to take a look at their win conditions. And right off the bat, I'm going to be honest, too easy. They can't just win by team fighting here. Not against a Nart, not against an Elise, not against a Caston. They have to rotate. That is their only option, and they cannot let themselves get picked while they do that.
At the same time, though, the villains, right? They've got pick potential from the Elise, always comes out from that champion. You've got split push pressure with the Na, and then you've got sort of almost both with Cassidy, who brings a lot of burst damage, but has the mobility to move around the map to match that rotational style. So we'll see how that plays out.
Options. I do like the safety that Tom Kitch brings as well to that bottom lane. But all safety aside and all win conditions aside, let's go ahead and hand it over to Laurie Pops again just to refresh us on how this game works, if it's all gone out of your head after that exciting game too.
Hey guys, my name is Laurie Pops and I'm here to help you get to know more about League of Legends and esports in general. And the best place to start is at the beginning. What is League of Legends? League of Legends is a team-oriented strategy game. The goal is to work together with your teammates to bring down the enemy nexus, located in the middle of their base, and do it before they take down yours. The action takes place in the Summoner's Rift, the League of Legends playing field. It's made up of 3 lanes, bot for bottom, mid for middle, and top for top. Each lane is a path between the 2 bases guarded by powerful turrets. Teams need to take down these turrets to enter the enemy base and destroy the nexus to win. Between the lanes is the jungle, a shadowy area filled with powerful monsters that can beat the heck out of an unprepared champion. But you can earn lots of gold by taking them down, and experts in the jungle can be the difference between winning and losing. It all sounds pretty straightforward, but making it happen is a little bit harder. Players start by choosing a champion, each one with different strengths and personalities. Some are sharp, shooting marksmen working from a distance, or burly fighters who like to get up in your face. Others are spellcasters using magical powers to trap and damage the enemy. However you like to get things done, there's a champion out there to match your style. And that is the basics of League of Legends. Use teamwork, skill, and strategy to take down the enemy, while they try to do exactly the same back. Enjoy tonight's matchup. This is Laurie Potts logging out. See you later.
Every challenge is a call to play smarter, to push further, to be better. That's why we put every aspect of gaming under the microscope. We are Logitech G. Gaming is our passion. Winning is our pursuit. Science is our method.
And welcome back. We're just a few short seconds before we hit the riff for Game 3 tonight. We're going to take one last look at those team comps. We're going to have our final thoughts on that. What do we think this is going to be? Because I know what I think it's going to be.
All right, well, I'll say what I think it's going to be.
All right.
Too easy, right? They've got a Lucian, which I've said this every single game, really likes to snowball off that advantage in the mid game. The skirmishes brings a lot of power in that stage of the game. At the same time, they've also got a Victor in the mid lane, massive wave clear, and he's up against a Cassidy who traditionally has pretty much nothing in terms of wave clear. Has to pick between getting CS and trading with his opponent, but that's until level 6, right? So, Too Easy have a very small window to deal with that Cassidy in a very effective way, and I think that's going to be a very important part of how they win this game.
Yeah, it's going to be very telling where these junglers choose to pardon the early parts of the game, because like you said, actually, if they can kind of bully out that Cassidy early, then kind of gives Too Easy plenty of time to get their thing going, to get into the mid game where that Lucian can execute. And on the same side of that, right, Dolphs needs to put a lot of attention to that Cassidy to keep him safe. At the same time, though, I feel like Rin Toyama needs to put attention to the top lane as well. So with his time being a little bit more split, and Dolphs probably being able to focus solely on the mid lane, he might just have a bit of an easier time there, but we're going to see all this and more as we hit the ref for Game 3. This will be the last one, no matter how you slice it. And Too Easy will either take down the villains, or the villains will put another notch on their stick of kills. It's all going to be revealed here.
At the end of the day, though, villains have still dropped a game, which is incredible for New Zealand esports history,
God
right?
bleed.
It's exactly what it is right now. So, honestly, it's got to be Dolphs eating a bit of his words here as they have dropped a game. But we're seeing, again, the defensive styles, which at least it gives us a little bit of time to talk about what these teams are going to be doing. And also, how are they going to be feeling right now? Too Easy. They've got to be amped up after that win. They're thinking they can be the ones to take down the villains.
Especially when they got a gold lead in Game 1 as well. No doubt they will be feeling confident that they can do that again. And then it's all just about executing on their win condition as cleanly as possible. Meanwhile, villains, like you said, God has now bled.
Got to be shaking in their boots a little bit.
Maybe not. But, well, actually, if you're Dolphs, you're going to be shaking in your dressing gown and slippers. But he does. He plays in a dressing gown. For those of you who don't know, back in the day, Dolphs used to play all his live things in a dressing gown. And if you asked him why, he would say casual wear for a casual game. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but...
Do you think he's wearing it right now?
I kind of hope it. Well, I mean, I'm assuming he's sitting at home. It's been a cold couple of days. This is the time to crack out your dressing gown.
We'll ask him. We'll ask him one day,
Tweet at Dolphs.
We'll
ask him what he's wearing.
Look, we promise we'll have an answer for you tomorrow night, all right? We'll find out.
We'll call him up. Dolphs, what are you wearing? And it's going to be a fairly simple start here from both of these bottom lanes. Just going to go ahead, pick up Prop and Krugs respectively, and fairly stock standard starts all across the board, in fact. And yeah, a lot of questions still around this jungle. I expect to see Rin Toyama, same kind of early lead. The question is going to be, how do they leverage that, and are they able to keep Kensti down?
In both games, though, we've seen Dolphs go for the ganks earlier on, rather than Rin Toyama, who opts to just go for the riskless style of farming a little bit more. And if Dolphs shows up in a lane, he knows he can go deep into the enemy jungle and drop a whole lot of wards, which again, is going to be super important for this mid lane matchup.
And speaking of, Arkael already with the early level 2. It's kind of to be expected, but he's kind of accrued a solid CS lead as well. And with that wave clear from the laser, even post 6, he can kind of keep Kensti shoved under his turret. We'll have to see how that ends up working out. Already roaming down to get some vision down, and that's going to be a really big win for him.
I love it. In Game 1, we actually saw that ward allow Rin Toyama to steal the Rift Scuttler away from Dolphs right underneath his
Yeah, we might see the same thing again, because Dolphs and Rin Toyama are both there, right? And after Dolphs clears his blue, he likes to go and get that Rift Scuttler on Elise. Rin Toyama knows it, and the bottom lane has put a ward down in that lane bush as well. Rin Toyama is in perfect position to do this yet again.
Come on. Oh, he's a bit low, though. He might be the one caught out.
Yeah, he knows it, too. He's going to go ahead and heal himself. Dolphs, he knows that there must be a ward there as well.
Oh, actually blocks it out with his body as well.
Smart move by Dolphs. He doesn't lose it this time.
Spiraling even.
Yeah, he doesn't lose it this time. Rin Toyama, they're going to be able to go back into his jungle, clear up. Dolphs, actually...
Hello.
Yeah, I think it's just efficiency.
Just pressure.
It's quicker.
It's quicker, but it's also pressure, right? Arkael has
It's
to
that
back
threat,
off
like,
for
yo, don't mess with us.
1-2 seconds. That's enough for Kensti to pick up 2-3 CS.
Actually,
that's like 45 gold.
That's been enough to even up the CS in that mid lane as well. There will be a bit more coming back into the pocket of Arkael, but he's going really far forward here, trying to bully out Kensti. Dolphs Whoa, the flash cocoon. Arkael's in a bit of trouble. He throws down the gravity field. Dolphs, he can't chase through that. Arkael goes away. Does not have to blow flash.
Yeah, importantly, holding on to that flash. Oh, what the heck?
What? Okay, well, look, Bun Bun Dove got a kill. I don't know how it happened, but Jack Attack Oh, hold on. Rintoyama, he might want to try and close this one out. It gets slowed up as it is. The spear does not connect. Bun able to survive that one. Puts down a trap for a little bit of vision, but with no ward, Rintoyama cannot risk following up. And Villains actually with the early lead here.
Teleport back by Jack Attack is going to force Bun. Yeah, yes, it rhymed.
It rhymed.
But
Whoa!
Dolphs, here he is.
And this was the other thing I was saying. Dolphs, it would be other than he'd be going between the mid and bottom lane. Cupcake has been able to get out though with that heal being blown on Blinky, who has kept his flash. All summoners down now for Cupcake. And while this has happened, Rintoyama yet again has been able to accrue a CS lead.
Importantly though, Kensti has managed to get a pretty big CS lead. 50% if my math is correct. But mostly that's going to come from Archael being forced out of the lane, blown a ghost, and actually forced to recall after losing so much of his health bar. This is so, I've got to say, comfortable for Kensti right now. He's not falling behind on the CS. And is going to be able to comfortably get into that level 6.
Yeah, it's exactly what he wants. Rintoyama, he's going to need to put more attention to this late. In fact, he's already going to commit to it now. But Kensti, he knows that that's going to happen every time he shoves in.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, yeah, the spear's not going to be able to connect. Kensti can just wander on behind those minions, let them do the blocking. Rin, just kind of trying to find where he can accrue that lead in this game. He's not as far ahead as he would like, and he's just walked into the side of the jungle that has nothing up to clear. He gets vision at least, and maybe wants to pressure this bottom side, but too easy, certainly not with that same lead they were used to in those first few games.
And with nothing on that side of the jungle as well, Dolphs isn't going to walk past that ward. Yes, it says he's not there, which means he's on the other side of the map, but at the same time, it's just nice to know that he definitely is somewhere. And they see him anyway.
Yeah, they know where he is. Jack Attack now returning to lane. Not really much better for it. He is taking some damage in the bottom lane. But yeah, Jack Attack, not necessarily better or worse for wear in that top lane, but Bun has come back with a bit of extra damage. As long as Jack Attack can keep the CS even, though he's going to feel fairly okay, because of course, his job is really just going to be to make it as hard as possible for Kensti and Dolphs to do work.
Dolphs showing attention to the bottom line, trying to see if he can take down the dynamic duo in Blinky and Cupcake. A lot of respect given by all the players here at the NZGC to those two players. But Dolphs' position is given away.
Completely given away. The second ward is well being cleared up. Oh! Ooh, Archael eating some damage. Kensti already gone 6. He actually, I think, blew the flash for that. Here's going to be the follow-up from Rintoyama, who's going to go in first with the melee form. A lot of minions there, though. Kensti's got a ton of damage. Rin, he can't commit with the minions there, and he can't really get Archael to follow up either.
Kensti reading that situation perfectly. Any other mid laner, well, actually, he didn't have flash up to blow, but he would have Rift walked away, would have kept safe. Dodging the
Rin's going to be in trouble. Yeah, the spear gets dodged. Rin had to back away quick smart there, because Dolphs was, of course, in the area. Archael as well now needs to back away quick smart. He cannot afford to stay. He really just needs to respect that Kensti is level 6, starting to come online, and has had that jungler retention.
And also, Dolphs being on Elise, stupendous champion at diving down on turrets. So Archael, like you said, has to recall. But he's drawn up his jungler just to hold the lane. Now they know where Rintoyama is. Dolphs can put some attention on that side of the map.
They don't quite know where he is either, because he has not gone towards that tri-brush. He's stuck around for a little bit longer. Now he's going to get spotted out by the Wolf Spirit, since that just got smited. I think he might be able to... He's going to try and steal the blue buff at least, but I mean, Rintoyama is here and actually has the level advantage. He's just blown a smite though, and Dolphs just know that because that Wolf Spirit's there. They're just kind of playing chicken here, neither really willing to commit.
Dolphs waiting for his execute to come out.
Either, yeah.
Is he going to hand it to Kensti?
Oh, yeah, here's going to be the collapse because Meganar is in. Rintoyama's committed the flash out from him, but Kensti, he's got a lot more flashes himself. Archael going to zone out. Just using that laser. Rintoyama does walk away with that blue buff, keeps away from Dolphs, and that was a lot of time out of lane spent by Bun.
And Kensti as well. Sure, it drew up Archael as well. He still got his ultimate. It would have been that would have been the big reason that the villains actually, too easy. No, sorry, the villains backed away from that fight.
This is allowed Rintoyama to get that CS lead again though, because of course Dolph spent a lot of time committing to something that he did not get. So Rintoyama with the lead, but he does need to leverage it into something in this game, because already 2 of his lanes are behind in CS. His bottom lane is ahead though, so maybe you take the old adage of don't gank a losing lane, gank a winning one.
Definitely has to show some attention to Blinky right now. If there's any way for them to come back into this, the mid lane's not an option anymore. It's got to be Blinky in that bottom lane. Snowball that into a dragon. But the villains, they've got the vision control down there inside the lane.
Yeah, there's actually no angle Rintoyama can really come from. Nor can they try and get a dragon, which is the other thing they've been doing with their early gold leads, which means villains, at least for the time being, are going to be able to hold on to the lead they currently have. Having that CS lead in the jungler isn't super helpful too easy as we come into the mid parts of this game, and we're not there yet, but when we get there, it's not going to be a big help. Dolph's now wheeling around for another gank. Just trying to get spotted out, though.
It's going to be spotted again, which means it's more time that he's not farming, more time for Rintoyama to move in. He's actually going for the lane tax, just to keep up with CS.
Not that he did anything, but, you know, tax, yeah. Tax kind of feels like that sometimes, though. It's like, what do you mean? I didn't do anything. Bit of a pause to come up here for just a second, though, so let's just take this moment to take a breather, reassess. Because like we were saying, 2Easy have normally had the early gold lead. This game, they actually don't.
Important thing, though, is that, well, 2Easy also don't have the advantage in the mid lane anymore, right? We talked about how early game Cassidy can suffer a little bit, and you can focus on him, has low mobility, very easy to gank, especially early on, but he survived that phase, he's got Rift Walk, and he's the one putting pressure on now. So we've got to see 2Easy start putting their focus somewhere else. But at the same time, villains know that. They're keeping vision down in the bottom lane, in the only lane that they're losing, and making sure that that lane isn't going to be snowballed even further.
Yeah, really smart moves by then. That being said, we did actually just see Kensti quite low. I don't know exactly how that happened. Probably just took a little bit too much poke, was maybe playing a bit too aggressively among the minions. But at the very least, it says that RKL has kind of figured it out. You know, he knows how to play this safely. And the Cassidy is still going to be scary. It's still going to be a threat. 2Easy have missed the window to... You can't really stop it. Delay the Cassidy from getting big. But they obviously feel kind of comfortable playing around it because, like I said, RKL hasn't gone ahead and just died solo. That's the other thing we've seen when Kenzie has pulled out this Cassidy, is he starts getting solo kills, and then he starts rotating around the map. He starts roaming and getting more solo kills. In fact, the only solo kill we've seen was that first blood, which was Bun Bun killing Jack Attack, and we're probably not going to see that again for a while. Even though Bun Bun will get some good items up, Jack Attack will have Subjugate, and really the Trundle is there for peel. It's not just there to win a 1v1.
As much as we talk about how Gnar is a bully and how Gnar kicks a melee laner just completely out of the top lane, right? Jack Attack isn't losing super hard right now.
No,
he's given up first blood, you know, that's a pretty big deal. But it's the only big deal in the game right now. And like you said, he's still going to have Subjugate, particularly against Gnar when he turns into Mega Gnar. Failing that, there's also Brown who picks up a lot of resistances and health. So he's always going to have a target for that, always going to be slightly tanky, but importantly, he's going to have to survive once Gnar picks up the Frozen Mallet. That's going to be the real test.
Yeah, that is going to be really tricky for him. I mean, even if he's just caught up in that top lane, not quite losing his turret, that does mean he's then not there for peel. And it's going to come down to some really tricky teleporting timings, right? Because the Gnar exerts pressure the moment he arrives. And if you're then pulling in your Trundle to peel, he needs to be prepared for it. But he can't really commit before the Gnar, because then the Gnar pushes down a turret, right? So it means that 2Easy need to find another way to either draw the Gnar out of lane or draw the teleport out of the Gnar. Or they're going to have a really hard time having the Trundle ready for team fights. And we sort of spoke to this as well earlier on, is it's not really a win condition for 2Easy to fight. They can't really straight up win fights. They've got some... I mean, if they get ahead, then yeah, they will, because that's the nature of the game, but they need to rotate. They can't even really find picks. It's all going to be the rotational game. And that's not super easy with the way the game is going right now.
Especially the way villains play and their strengths in game, particularly macro game later on. Despite the gold lead in game 1, and even despite the actual win coming out from 2Easy, villains played very well in the late game, and we're going to get back in, but villains, their macro game in the late game is some of the strongest in the New Zealand scene. Bit of action in the mid lane.
And that control all comes down to the vision game, and we've already spoken to that strength in both the first two games and in this one as well, really allowing villains to hold on to what lead they have. Rintoyama again trying to be the bully he is in the jungle, spotted out by the Wolf Spirit, but he just don't care. Cupcake, he actually managed to eat up Perkle. I don't think Perkle is at risk of dying here. He eats a culling though. Hold on, I lied to you. The dash in, but Blinky gets exhausted. Shiny now exhausted as well, so the Blinky can't get turned around upon. The Roamer's going to come in. They want to get Shiny instead. Rintoyama's here for the dive. Blinky finds Shiny. They don't even need to dive, and now they can turn into Bun Bun. Robert Cupcake ate up the Lucian. Blinky's going to be safe. Rintoyama is the one to drop, but Bun Bun is now in trouble. Dolphins finally arrived, but Jack Attack is the only one who gets stunned. Now Cupcake, he's somehow the one doing the work. They're not going to get any more. It is just a 1-for-1, but I have to say, that was a very well-played dive by 2Easy. They've also bullied Kenzie out of lane, and they can possibly dive Dolphs or at least get a turret here.
Got to be careful diving Dolphs. He's got the repel, but at the same time, he's one guy, not able to defend the turret. This dragon is an option, but they're not going for anything
They
yet.
don't have Rintoyama. They can't quite commit to the dragon, unfortunately, but like I said, that was really cleanly executed by 2Easy. They're totally even up the gold lead as well by keeping Dolphs locked under there and by forcing Kenzie back to lane. lane. He now misses CS. Crucially, that cannon minion as well. So all in all, too easy. Just kind of turned on the gas there.
At the same time, though, Arcale, despite all that breathing room in the mid lane, pushing Kenzie out of lane, Kenzie's coming back, still with the CS lead. He's picked up Rod of Ages.
Yeah.
He's looking like he's primed to move into the later stages of the game. He's already picking up the CS here. Blue buff is next on his eyes. He's ready to go.
There's been a reaction there by Arcale to pick up that Negatron cloak. Good idea by him. Yeah, Dolph's nearly dying to the blue buff, tanking it up so he could give it to Kenzie. The things you do as a jungler. But in any case, like we were actually touching on in the pause there, Arcale, he's feeling comfortable just reacting to Kenzie where he is now. They know that they can't shut him down, but Arcale is not going to get walked all over, to be sure.
Speaking of getting walked all over, that turret had no one to defend it. As Bun Bun smashes it down, Jack Attack just looks so much less tanky than Bun Bun right now, who's only picked up Jaw on his fist.
Yeah, and actually it's a Tiamat rush for Jack Attack as well, which means he's obviously not too fussed about how that solo lane goes now, and I do kind of agree with that because Kenzie's going to be diving onto the team. You need that extra little bit of damage, and you will be able to provide some peel to stop Shiny from following up.
Cupcake's like, where are you going, fellas?
Cupcake, you've careful here.
You've got a
Where
buddy.
are you going, Cupcake? The On the Hunt goes down. They do get a nice Q onto Cupcake. They want to try and follow it up. He wanted the thick skin, gets knocked up. Spot to thick skin, but he's got nowhere to go. Blinky trying to do what he can to trade it back onto Perkle, but he does not find it. And Cupcake way too far forward. Totally punished for it.
I love this by Dolph as well. Bun Bun knows arrived in the mid lane.
Bun Bun really committed hard. The gravity field is there, but Kenzie and Bun Bun are going to be able to dive. Here's Rin Toyama though with the follow-up. They get Bun Bun first. They want to find Kenzie, but Rin Toyama is low. And Kenzie knows it. Rin Toyama also knows that he can't commit to it, so they do just walk out picking up a kill. And that does give Jack Attack some time in this top lane to work on the turret as well.
And actually taking a CS lead too, but the villains with their positional advantage looking to take out an Inferno Drake as well. Looking to get that team fight power ready to go. Over the wall though. Blinky, you're going to try and steal?
They want to do it. They don't quite commit to it. The spear was a little bit too late as well. They do find the dragon. That's an Infernal Drake. Oh, Arcale really putting the hurt on Kenzie here now. And the top turret being traded away in the top lane. It's actually kind of good news for Too Easy, and you can see now a small gold lead for them. And all in all, actually, Too Easy is starting to eke out a lead despite that dragon going down. Now, Rin Toyama roaming bottom. They want to maybe take this bottom turret as well. Dolphs, he can't really defend this.
They've got a ton of vision in the top side of the map, so they know where villains aren't. Kenzie, though, got to be scared of this guy right now because, looking at the stack, soon.
Yeah, but the moment he commits to that, it does leave the mid lane exposed. Arcale did back away, though, so they're not really at risk of losing too many minions in there. I think both will get back at about the same time, but that is a teleport blowing. And Bun Bun, he's actually about to get his back available. Dolphs, he's looking for Blinky here, but Cupcake's kind of there to protect him.
And the minions too.
Actually, Kenzie, hold on, Kenzie might want to go for a roam. They're actually trying to set up a dive here.
Arcale's coming.
Yeah, but they've only got a limited amount of time because the recall has already been started. Now Cupcake, he hasn't got the ward down, but he knows it's coming. He's seen Dolphs. Now he's seen Kenzie. And the recall's already come out from Blinky. Cupcake is a man alone. Dolphs, though, he needs to repel. He does get away.
Chaos Storm!
Oh, Arcale gets one on the backside of it. He's looking for Kenzie as well. Rin Toyama's there with the collapse. It'll be a 3 versus 2. They can bring Jack Attack and both Bun Bun in. Don't think they will, though. It's just going to be a 1-for-1. A lot of resources committed, though, by villains.
Because villains lost a player in that too, they can't go for the siege now either. Bun Bun looking massive in the top lane. Something we didn't pick on before was the fact that he got the initial demolition gold. He's now miles ahead of Jack Attack in items, 1 upgrade away from Frozen Mallet.
The CS has started to even up a little bit, to Jack Attack's credit.
2 kills though.
Ooh, Kenzie, he saw the spear go wide, still decided to walk closer to Rin Toyama anyway. And Rin Toyama, I mean, look, they're squishy, but Kenzie, he's not doing a ton of damage just yet.
Someone's got to do something about Bun Bun right now. It was Jack Attack last game. The Nara's looking great for Bun Bun, though, this time. Mega Nara is available if you want to gank him. It's going to be now, but Rin Toyama on the bottom side of the map looking for maybe a dive, maybe a turret kill.
I like this because they know that Dolphs has gone to the top side. They did actually spot out that movement. And I don't quite think Rin Toyama has been spotted either. He's actually getting right around. And is there still a turret there? There is, maybe, but it doesn't matter because they're already getting onto Shiny. There is actually the turret. There's going to be the teleport committed for Bun Bun. Cupcake throws Blinky back under the turret, but RKL's going to come on in here. He does not have a Chaos Storm just yet, but actually he does have it up just now. They've already got a double kill onto him though. There's time to get onto Bun Bun. He's running away. Kenzie's going to try and clean up, but no one's low enough for it. Bun Bun is just taking up time as the turrets drop down. He knows he's a dead man. It's all a question of when. Cupcake going to go with the consume. RKL to pick up his third kill of that skirmish, and suddenly he's looking a lot scarier than Kenzie. Dolph's trying to answer in the mid lane, but I don't think they're going to get this in time.
Not fast enough.
Oh,
there,
actually,
Dolphs.
maybe. They do have another minion wave coming in. I think they can actually get this because all of Too Easy recalled. That's maybe a bit of a misrotation by them because they could have gone for at the very least a collapse to defend.
They might be able to pick it up, but it's forcing Kenzie and Dolphs to recall very, very late right now. It's going to give Too Easy the driver's seat right now to move and take an objective. Dragon's away. Mid lane turret's an option. Rift Herald's available, but
He gets caught out. He just went a little bit too deep there. He's able to get out, but that means Dolphs is now in trouble. Like you said, overstayed the welcome. Jack Attack going to work on him. RKL to pick up that one. Good idea giving the kill over to him because he is now 6-0. That is an incredible KDA when you only have 7 kills on your team, and villains need to start being very scared of RKL.
And someone that needs to be scared of Bun Bun right now is Jack Attack. Frozen Melon's been picked up, but more importantly right now, this mid lane turret under siege. Full HP though.
Yeah, and they can siege because of RKL. It's that laser, and also not too shabby amount of wave clear coming out from Blinky, plus with that culling can pressure out Shiny. That's exactly what they're going to do here. Blinky, he doesn't even want to commit a culling just yet. They're just going to go ahead, chip away at the turret. They know that Dolphs died. They know that Kenzie had to back. In fact, they've even seen him in the top lane, and this turret goes down uncontested.
Yeah, a bit of splitting up a little bit here by the villains. Not able to defend every lane at once.
You know, they're doing what they did in game 1, actually. They know that they don't have the lead, so they're sending their members off to the side lanes instead of trading objectives, so that if they get a window back in, then solo laners have the CS and therefore have the items to have damage, to get back in the game. And I do like that play, but they can only do it for so long because Too Easy can take structures very quickly with RKL.
And the big difference this time is they're not smashing their lanes in the creep score. The only one who's even a little bit ahead is Kenzie. It's 40 CS. It's not huge, but his lane opponent is RKL with 6 kills.
Yeah,
right?
Is that even really a lead at that point?
Yeah, it's pretty much even in the top lane, and the CS lead is actually matched opposite sides. Blinky 40 CS ahead of Shiny, and he's got an equal amount of kills too. So honestly, villains don't have the same advantage they had in game 1 where they swung it back in their favor.
And now villains trying to slow it down a little bit. A little bit under 3k gold lead for Too Easy, and we saw this last 3 games. They were always able to get a gold lead. Game 1, at this point, they started to get a little bit too deep, overextended a bit too much, and villains did take advantage, but I'd be surprised to see them make the same mistake twice.
Villains really looking to get the vision control around the dragon. It's a mountain drake, which is going to be super important for taking down those turrets, taking down those objectives later on in the game. They've got a siege style with a great split-pushing champion right now who is ahead.
That being said, he spoke to Too Easy's win condition also being rotating and sieging down turrets. And
here we go.
Here's the collapse on the Dolphs. They want to knock him out first and then go ahead and take the dragon. He repels just to buy time, maybe trying to get his team to collapse, but he knows he is a dead man one way or another. He does finally drop down. Kenzie has arrived though, but he's again a bit too deep. Exhaust onto him. He's forced to flash out. Perkle is there for the retreat just to kind of keep his team members alive, and it does work. Kenzie, he wants to go back in, but he really cannot afford to. Oh, Jack Attack is going to find them, and maybe he's going to get found. They want to go for the dragon. This is a number disadvantage for villains. Maybe Too Easy just want to continue the fight here. They've already got Kenzie a little bit. A nice Glacial Fissure is going to stop up the rest of the pile in, but they're going to go for it anyway because Shiny's out of position. Perkle again with the door up. Shiny, though, he's split away from the team, drops down to a spear. Bun Bun and Perkle on the retreat. Blinky didn't quite get the dash over the wall, but Cupcake there to get the slow on Perkle. Bun Bun going to get routed and run down now, able to flash away just barely. And this is definitely a dragon now for Too Easy.
And RKL with 9 out of the 11 kills he's participated in right now. Massive asset to his team. They're not just going to get Dragon off the back of this. They're going to get a tier 2 turret in the bottom lane that's going to put a lot more pressure on Bun Bun to go for the split push. And now watch them turn around and take the Mountain Drake away from the villains.
And while this has happened, Rintoyama's pressured out the mid lane turret. He won't get it, but he keeps Dolphs in check. At the very least can put the damage down on him, and they know that he can't come in onto this dragon either. They also know there aren't the wards for Bun Bun to teleport to. There is one in the tri-brush, but there isn't going to be a collapse. This is a really safe pickup for Too Easy.
And how do the villains respond to that? They know they can't contest for the dragon. They're not moving towards Rift Herald, let alone getting any vision around it. they're not even picking up CS right now. They're moving as a unit to try and clear out vision instead. Playing the safe game, but the safe game is going to keep them behind here. 6,000 gold.
And this is exactly the opposite of what they were doing before. I agree with them doing this because they know they can't afford to get caught out. That's how small leads become big ones. But it does mean that if they find that fight in their favor, they have a lot less at their disposal to start turning the game back around. Villains now about 5k gold behind. Too easy, looking to play a lot cleaner than they did in the first match.
Too easy doing exactly what they need to do to win. We talked about snowballing the mid lane, and well, it happened a little bit later than we thought it would, but RKL honestly looking like such a powerhouse right now. Jungler and support warding together, backed up by RKL if a fight were to happen. They're looking at the next target, or is the next target Shiny?
Yeah, he is going to be able to retreat, and they might just want to go ahead and siege here using the split push pressure from Jack Attack. And he is actually one of the ones that can really keep Kensti in check here. He's gone for that Tiamat to get that extra damage, and the Spectre's Cal as well for exactly that reason. He didn't play for the lane, he played for the game, and this is where it pays off.
Look at this turret, already half health. The wave clear is there for Shiny, but it's not enough. The turret is getting ripped apart right now. They've got the Mountain Drake as well.
Exactly.
So it's going to drop even further. Dropping vision, clearing vision as they go through the jungle. Too easy playing everything right.
Yeah, they rotate up. They want to look for the top turret now, and with that vision being placed down as they go, they're not seen at all. Villains have been warding as a unit. They know that this is coming though. The moment you don't see Too Easy arrive in the top lane, you know they're setting something up. Too Easy Villains can actually just pile down the mid lane.
They're wasting time here, honestly. Sometimes you get a cheeky kill, maybe even a cheeky ace out of a strategy like that. You got to play a little bit more correct.
Yeah, the thing I was touching on earlier as well is they could rotate up, get that turret, and get the vision around the Baron area. They're kind of half committing to a collapse and getting the vision down. Rintoyama maybe overextended. His Cupcake has found Shiny, but here comes Jack Attack at last. Rintoyama just finally dropped, but Shiny is kind of caught out on the wrong side of the spiders. The rest of the team starts to collapse. Here comes RKL. Shiny now in a lot of trouble, drops down. Jack Attack finding that one. Perkle in trouble, and Rintoyama did drop. It'll take a little while for the turnaround to be there, but it will be there for Too Easy. And actually, they're still not. No, there we go. Now Blinky's arrived. And he wants Bun Bun, actually. Wow. Going to commit a culling for it. Bun Bun about to go mega. They kind of need to back out from this one, though.
Good point by Blinky, though, to put the focus on Bun Bun while he's in that mini form. But in any case, more kills, more gold lead for Too Easy right now. They can rotate to the top turret. It's almost pushed up to there. They've got the vision around there. They can clear out even more. They're ready to go. And Kensti is miles away.
Yeah, he is recalling, so he will be able to get there. But I don't think this turret is going to last that long, to be honest. The wave clear out of RKL plus the straight up damage from Blinky with those Mountain Drakes on them. Yeah, this turret is not long for this one.
Mega, nah.
Yeah, he's going to go mega. Oh, a big shove, actually, in the perfect direction, but Blinky's managed to get out. Oh, but RKL's already down. Jack Attack is still working on the turret rather than the fight. Blinky's found one, and now he's looking for Kensti, but Kensti's looking for him too. Who's going to drop? It's going to be Kensti.
Blinky double kill.
He gets out. He does not have any more damage to continue this one. Cupcake is just buying time. They do get away with it, but they don't get the turret. They didn't quite do that safely, did not respect the Mega Nah. They should actually have just gone for the turret earlier before Rin died. They do get away with it, and they do hold on to the lead, but it is a slightly smaller lead than the Wolf a moment ago.
They hold the turret, but it was only a 3-for-2. Not a huge lead, not a huge advantage, but then again, you'll take anything when you're that far behind in gold right now. 6,000 gold. Rintoyama caught out on the wrong side of the map here, but he's in Italy.
Yeah,
I have seen people escape much, much worse situations.
Yeah, he is going to be able to get out. There isn't really the chase potential out of just a Sivir and a Braum. They don't really have the same way to dash over walls as Nidalee. If it was Kensti, it might be a bit of a different story. Now Dolph's happily going to clear up his own jungle at long last. And after that, Too Easy, they do need to just play a little bit more cleanly again. They do not want a repeat of game one.
Honestly, just take the safe route and they'll be able to take out a victory. Next dragon coming up, going to be an Inferno Drake. Of course, the villains, they're going to be looking for that. They've already got one. Getting another one makes not only their team fighting better, but puts a great Elder Dragon buff available to them. So, of course, we're going to see Too Easy wanting to contest that. 2 minutes until it spawns. They need the vision around it.
We're looking to pick up a bit of that vision as well. Rift's got a big Dares and a pink ward in the area. Cupcake is actually in a bit of trouble here. The rest of the team is here to help keep himself pops the thick skin early. Actually, they want to commit to it. They've gone with the knockup. They are going to be able to get it. There isn't enough team to actually collapse because Jack Attack is off in his side lane. RKL was busy farming top, and Cupcake punished for warding alone. Again, this is Too Easy, not taking the safest route possible and actually paying for it.
Well, Kensti, he's not going to die. He's got the mobility. Or did I speak too soon? He's turning it around. Dolphs is about to arrive.
Yeah, actually, Jack Attack needs to be in a needs to be careful here. He's going to use the minion wave to block out a potential cocoon, but they wait till the minion wave dies. They wait till the last one goes down, but Jack should have tried to turn it onto Dolphs. The repel comes in, so he's going to work on Kenzie instead. Now Dolphs drops down, but they don't have the damage. The execute is there from Elise. Ooh, Jack attack.
Oh, I almost really want to see that in a highlight. Really quickly, he smited a minion to the cocoon here.
Oh,
that is so fake.
Smart. But here's going to be the exact same thing, but in a different lane. The mid and jungle taking down the top. It's going to be Bun Bun the focus. He's able to get away, though. And villains are starting to find picks that really Too Easy should not be letting them get.
And noticing where a lot of their resources are right now, villains are responding in the bottom lane. The duos have left, but Kenzie's going to be there to rip down this turret on his own, but he's going to get collapsed on.
Yeah, he has to back out now. He can't afford to stay too much longer because the Time Kenji can cut him off. Actually, the Time Kenji is going to commit to it with Blinky there. Kenzie, though, he's got another way to get out. It might be right into the jaws of Rin Toyama, though, who is in position to stop this one. Kenzie, he's only got a limited number of blinks. They go for it. He tries to go in on Rin Toyama, though. That might be enough because now Dolphs is here. And yes, Kenzie gets out. Will they commit to the fight, though? I don't think they really want to, not with Jack Attack too far away.
Oh, this game is on a knife's edge. The dragon has spawned.
Good.
So important for Too Easy to pick this up. They're going to deny the team fighting dragon from the villains and pick it up for themselves. Going to be able to retreat over the wall. And villains pick up nothing in return.
That is absolutely crucial. Too Easy. They actually have victory in their sights, in their grasp even, to get the 2-1 on villains. They will be the first team in about 3 years to do it.
A lot of nerves, a lot of pressure right now on Too Easy. They're in position to take this lead, take it to a 2-1 in the series.
They just need to play clean, play slow, play calm, and they can do this. Cupcake.
Cupcake
again getting caught. His team is miles away. RKL the only one near. This time, though, the villains don't know that. They aren't going to commit. Smart call by them, even though they would have got the kill.
It's so important against a team like the villains with their macro play to send your jungler with your support to get those wards down. At this point in the game, 27 minutes. Teams are moving as a unit. Villains are always in position to take advantage of anyone out of position, like Rin Toyama.
Yeah, Rin Toyama, who is still squishy. There's going to be the teleport to commit. Now Rin Toyama is actually... Yeah, the cancel had to come out there. Rin Toyama is a little bit far away. He would have been cut off, but yeah, they cannot commit that. That means Bun Bun is now miles away with no teleport, and now Too Easy have precedence over Baron.
Well, it's still dangerous. Even though they have the numbers advantage, they can still absolutely die here. There's no Chaos Storm. There's no Mega Gnar.
Chaos Storm is available.
Oh, sorry. No Chaos Storm available for the villains. There's no pit-wide AoE. That's what I was trying to get at.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Actually, you're right. They do have the Mega Gnar. That's the only thing. They're actually going to be able to walk Bun Bun in despite not teleporting. Oh, Blinky taking a bit of a chunk there.
Bit of a flank here.
Careful. Dolphs doesn't find the pick, and yeah, this is a bit of a surround. They can't let Kenzie get on top of them. They are going to be able to go ahead and retreat. Too Easy, still giving a lot of respect to the villains, and rightly so.
Losing that opportunity to take advantage of the top laner on the other side of the map. Bun Bun able to walk over. There's a lot of pressure in the top lane by Kenzie right now. Someone has to answer that. We've seen Jack Attack do it quite often. Needs to not overextend though.
Yeah, and this means that actually now villains are the ones who have the opportunity to get that control over the Baron. And this is interesting. Despite the gold deficit, villains potentially have the stronger team fight. And I spoke about this earlier in the game. The win condition for Too Easy isn't actually to team fight, but they might not have a choice here. They might just have to commit. They've committed a teleport for Jack Attack, and villains smartly back off, drawing that one out. Rin Toyama low. They're going to wait out the Mega Gnar.
Good call to wait out that ultimate. Of course, we've seen it flip fights so many
times. The moment he goes mini, they commit. Dolphs and Bun Bun are on the wrong side of this one. Dolphs forced to flash, but Bun Bun, no such tools at his disposal. They go for him, they get him, and now Kenzie miles away. They're going to try and run down the rest of the team. Rin Toyama, he flashes forward for it. He doesn't quite have the damage, but they might have the rest there. Blinky goes deep. Dolphs goes up in the air, and there's nowhere for him to go when he comes down. Rin Toyama going to pick that one up. Kenzie separated from his team. This is going to be a collapse onto a Baron.
They've got to move swiftly right now. The jungler, Dolphs, is dead. There's no hope for a steal. Villains have to recognize this and move back. Also, no Mega Gnar available too. They're going in as a 3v5.
Well,
some members are low.
The only thing that can help here is Kenzie. But Baron isn't going to do that much damage. Not at this point in the game. Not with the Mountain Drake there. Shiny is going to try and do what he can. But they're going to commit to the fight. They're looking for purple first. Oh! Kenzie's forced out. Rin Toyama did drop, but it doesn't matter because they've already got one. They're going to get a second. And Kenzie's the only one who's going to be alive. Blinky, eventually he'll get it. They don't need to get the Baron if they get everything else. Kenzie's got a long walk back to base, and there's nothing he can find. They did stop the Baron, though.
They did stop the Baron, but at what cost? It was a 2-for-1. Rin Toyama actually very funnily, if you had a look, died to the last auto attack by Baron Nashor. So a little bit unfortunate call there by Too Easy. Classic Bazzo, right? It's still a 7,000 gold lead, but Too Easy are still in the same position of where they make one macro mistake and villains will pounce on them. Cupcake warding alone, dead. Rotate around to the objective at the wrong time, aced. They need to be so careful.
They have been giving the villains a lot more respect. They are not making the same mistakes as game 1. And now with about a 7k gold lead, 6 to 7k, they're a little bit safer in it now. They do just lose a turret, which does even it up a bit more for villains, but it's still a lead. That being said, villains have managed to pick up a couple of key items now.
Honestly, the most key item is Bun Bun picking up that Guardian Angel right now. When you pick up Guardian Angel, you know the next fight is the most important, but they pulled the trigger!
They know Kenzie's back. He has to teleport in, and he's going to go into the pit to do it, so they're just going to back up the Baron. Yeah, they've drawn him in. Now they can just bide their time. The Mega Knight is a mile away. Rintarama does take a chunk of damage. They put a bit back in with the culling. Purple blocks up a good chunk of that. The Chaos Storm was committed. Actually, Too Easy need to be a bit careful here because villains can set up for a collapse.
Oh, it's so risky here because they've got the option of a flank coming onto them. Too Easy need to back off. The Rift Scuttler is there. They don't have the power to do it. Mega Knight could come up at any time. Bun Bun needs to build it up.
Yeah, they managed to draw the one out of Kenzie, but they didn't draw the one out of Bun Bun. And again, villains are setting up for it. They want to draw them out to the mid lane and go for a collapse, but they might be too far away. Here comes the Tom Kench. Dolphs is already dead. Now Perkle in trouble. Shiny on the retreat. They can't collapse. They're miles away, and Too Easy are running down the other members of their team. You can't collapse when you're moving in opposite directions. Perkle going to get trodden into the ground. Shiny finally going to drop down to RKL.
Is he?
He does get stopped up.
Yeah,
RKL,
there he goes.
As rounds come off cooldown, he picks up another one. The 2 members remaining from villains are going to try and get turrets, but I don't really know if they can.
Bun Bun not going to be able to get his Kenzie as
Jack
well.
Attack, hold on. He can stop it. He's got the AoE.
Just kill the minions,
I
right?
think Kenzie will find one here. Bun Bun forced on the retreat.
But they're going for the Baron.
It's going to be a Baron no matter what turrets do drop. RKO is there to react to the top side as well. And at long last, Too Easy find the Baron they've been looking for the last 5 minutes.
Slow, cautious play, drawing out teleports.
Oh, no way. They're going to get Kenzie too. No! Whoa! RKL overstays as well. Kenzie. He tries to recall, but he knows they're collapsing. He just knows it. He's going to try and go for an execute. No. RKL damaged him too recently. So it ends up being a 1-for-1. But in any case, the Baron was picked up. That's what Too Easy wanted. That's what Too Easy got. Now Bun Bun having to retreat means no bottom turret getting traded back either.
Bun Bun at least kept up his GA. Well, I mean, I guess he wasn't in the fight, so of course he's going to keep it up. But gosh, okay, so you've got a team that's got 4 Baron buffs right now. You're ready to go, but the Dragon is alive, and with RKL dead, there's 9 kills right now.
RKL is dead, but Kenzie, if you will, is deader, given that he'll take a bit more time rather to respawn. They've actually had to pop it on the hunt defensively. Here comes Tan Kench on the side to try and cut off the retreat.
Mega
Bun Bun, he's just going to try and keep Bun Bun's zone because Shiny is caught out. Oh, nice spell shoot on the spear. Now Bun Bun with the rest of his team. Probably going to stop up any more collapse. Cupcake, he's going a bit too deep here. Has to pop the thick skin. Bun Bun, nice snarf for the peel. They've got the subjugate running now. They're going to try and run it down. Bun Bun's going to go mini any second now. They don't quite have the damage to run them down, but this does give them the positional advantage over the Dragon.
And once again, what do you know? It's a Mountain Drake. They've only got a few more key structures to take down. This is going to help them do it, but they've got to get it first.
Dolphs has had to go up into the air. They're committing a teleport now from Bun Bun onto the side, but he does not have Mega Form, and they know it. He's forced to hop away over the wall. For some reason, they're fighting over the blue buff too. Now Kenzie on the other side. Again, villains trying to set up a pincer, but every single time Too Easy was reacting the right way. They force out Kenzie. Now the rest of the villains are out of position and they can go onto them. They're going to pop a culling in that direction. Kenzie, he tries to go back in. They go onto Kenzie.
They can go the mid lane.
Orchestral. This is absolutely beautiful play by Too Easy. They are playing the villains like fools right now.
And look at how they're moving, all clumped as one unit when they know Mega Nar's not available. Got to watch out for it to come up right now, but they're just going straight in, blinking so far forward.
He does need to be a little bit careful. Bun Bun will go Mega now, and he's probably just going to need to use that for the retreat. He does have a Guardian Angel. RKL! Whoa! He's fought to commit. The Nar only catches RKL. They're still looking for Bun Bun. They might be able to get it. He slams down RKL, but they finally pop the GA.
They should just retreat here. They don't have Jack Attack. They're in trouble. Dolphs is coming.
Jack Attack can teleport if they need though, and Dolphs, this is the same thing. They're setting up for a pincer, so Too Easy are going, all right, well, we'll kill one half of your pincer first. Dolphs, he looks at Winky.
No!
Winky gets eaten, and RKL blows Dolphs up. There is no way the villains are collapsing on Too Easy. Not anymore, you're not.
And the hardest thing about Dolphs there, he was trying to get an assassination. on a key target. But when you've got a Tom Kinch, he can
Not
just eat
gonna
up your
happen.
target.
And that is why you pick Tom Kench as well. The way villains get back in is with picks. When Cupcake is in the area, that cannot happen. So far, the villains have got picks on Cupcake, but that's the only one they can get them on now.
And now the Baron buff, it's gone. So, well, villains can have a little bit of breathing room, but how much breathing room can you really have? 8,000 gold behind, losing team fight after team fight. Look at where the gold is on Too Easy. 10 kills for Arcale, 9 kills for Blinky. Blinky hasn't died either. Don't forget that.
I'd be hard-pressed to forget that. Blinky has played fantastically. As much as it was Arcale earlier, getting up 6-0-0, now still with 10 kills under his belt. It's been really impressive play out of Blinky for the remainder of this game. And honestly, the damage dealers from Too Easy have been playing these fights very
Kensti.
well. Oh, Kensti is forced to teleport just to escape. They do spot it out. I don't think they can really collapse, but they know that that's happened now. That means they know that they can get this top turret.
One thing to watch out for, one thing, and that is Bun Bun and his Mega Gnar. It's not ready yet, but it can come up very quickly. This turret is low.
This time, though, he doesn't have a GA, and he can just get bursted down, even in Mega Form. He's only so tanky. You know, when your health runs out, you do die, even if you are Bun Bun. Going to clear out the last of these wards. Here's Too Easy. Go for the more regular siege. Going to try and crack the inhibitor turrets. And villains, they don't really look like they know how to deal with this.
One wave of minions and it dropped 1/3 HP. Too Easy can just do that 2 more times. They've got time.
Yeah, they're not even doing this with a Baron buff. This is just the wave clear out of Arcale and the damage out of Blinky. Shiny and Kensti cannot wave clear in kind.
They can bring the minions down, but again, every time the minion wave comes up, they chunk a little bit more damage onto the turret. And now Mega Gnar's been popped. They can see this. They know. They can probably just dive.
And it's going to expire before the next wave arrives as well. Kensti forced to go bottom just to clear the minions. They're not super minions yet, but
it's a big wave.
Yeah, it is a big wave, and they do have to send him. Like I said, Bun Bun now mini as the next wave arrives. That does help with the wave clear a little bit because he's ranged, but again, this is going to be another chunk taken off the turret. They do need to be careful though, because Dolphs is looking for a catch on the side. Too Easy, playing it nice and slow, nice and careful. Put another chunk on the turret. They're going to wait for the next minion wave.
Can't fight.
Wins the race.
Can't fight without the Mega Gnar.
No.
And that's exactly what Too Easy know. As soon as they see that red bar getting close to full, they'll back off. It's a yellow bar before it's full, I suppose. But in any case, they've got 2 minutes to just hold it up here, and then back off, get vision down around that Baron, get the buff, and do it again.
Yeah, Dolph's again trying to look for a pick on the side, but it's just too much vision for him to get in position. And this is probably going to be the push where the turret finally falls. Well, maybe not. Maybe it takes one more. Very low.
So low.
He wanted to commit. He can't overcommit because he's gone Mega the Gnar. And now they're getting completely shut down. Blinky already dove upon, but Arcale, he might have enough. He's about to find Kensti. Can he turn around? No! Kensti gets it back onto Arcale. Rin Toyama, the greed kills him. He wanted that last hit. He paid for it with his life, and the rest of his team is going to die. There is so...
Quadra kill.
Yeah, quadra kill for Kensti, and so much time for the villains to take structures down. This is a small window, but they're going to smash the glass and make it bigger.
It was one thing that the villains needed to do, and Bun Bun pulled it off flawlessly, getting that Mega Gnar into the wall. Turret number 1's going to go down. Inhibitor turret should surely follow. And this inhibitor as well. What do they do after that? Do they go for the win? Is there enough time?
I don't know if there is quite enough time, but in any case, they've evened up the gold. The percentage difference is a lot smaller now. They will certainly get this turret and an inhibitor. They will now have more down than their opponents Too Easy. Actually, they're not going to commit to the inhibitor, but that was all Rin Toyama. They could have waited another wave, and after super clean play, Too Easy make a tiny slip up, the villains take total advantage of it.
Crucial thing right now is that the villains are recalling. Yes, they got the turrets, not the inhibitor. Oh, Bun Bun may be caught out recalling, window shopping there,
he's
but
going to be able to get out with that mega form.
Vision placed down behind that Baron, well, in front of the Baron on the blue side of the map. This means Too Easy can go in. They're still 4,000 gold ahead. They made one mistake, they lost a few turrets for it, but they're reacting in kind. They're moving to the Baron.
Yeah, the key thing is they made one mistake, but they can afford to make just that one. They do need to play this very carefully. They need to back off from the Baron here as the teleport comes in from Bun Bun. He is not quite in that mega form, but it will be soon. They need to respect that. Rin Toyama and Blinky are low. They eat up Blinky. Cupcake, nice one there. Bun Bun commits. Jack Attack is deep. He might look for Dolphs, but Bun Bun is found the Gnar. They get so many. Kensti is just destroying everyone. It's only Jack Attack with the Guardian Angel, and the moment they lost respect for Kensti, Kensti made them pay for it. He has earned it back in blood with an ace.
Within 2-3 minutes. Kensty's got 8 kills in these team fights. But the star player for both of these fights has been Bun Bun every single time. This might be enough time to close out the game.
I think it will be. The inhibitor is going to fall. The minions are just close enough that they can do it, and the death timers are enormous. Too easy. We're so close, but the villains are still top dog at the NZGC.
It just shows how superb the villains' macro gameplay is right now. These Nexus turrets, they're taking a while.
Oh, hold on.
They need the minions to come back.
Yeah, they actually have to back away. They took too much damage. It's not over yet.
Cut the victory music.
The gold is super even. Actually, Bun Bun! Hold on, Bun Bun's overstayed. He can get eaten up by Cupcake. He needs to get out alive.
The flash is there.
It is there, but he's only got a GA there to help keep him alive. He does not have a flash to get out. There's going to be a gravity field on top of him, and he dodges down. That could be crucial. It's a numbers disadvantage for villains, and an Elder Drake up plus a Baron.
Every single time that villains have won fights,
no.
I've said it, it's Bun Bun.
They're going for it.
On the now, those ultimates. And look at this. Trundle down on the bottom lane. The super minions are not going to be able to push down on the mid lane. This Baron dropping slowly, but once the team catches up...
Yeah, Blinky and Arcale here now. The damage is here. Villains, they want to commit. Kenzie, he does have a lot of damage, but it's not quite this much. But then he get the Baron and back out fast. They can't afford to die. Dolph's the only one there. This time, too easy to get out. Numbers disadvantage still for villains. They need to find something here now. Too easy. They are out of chances. They cannot afford to make any more mistakes. They could scarcely afford to make the last.
I cannot believe they're actually still in this right now. They managed to drop one Nexus turret. Like you said, one more lost team fight, and they're gone. They're out of here. Elder Drake, actually. Bun Bun's still 12 seconds away. They've got their whole team here. They're ready to go. They got vision to see anyone coming in. And that's with 3 dragons as well.
And 2 of those are Mountain Drakes. These turrets cannot stand up anymore. And this is going to be a quick recall for Too Easy. They need to just pile down a lane, drop down structures, and villains need to set up a really clever team fight if they're going to turn this one back in their favor.
One thing to look out for. I've said it before, it's Bun Bun and that. Nah, they cannot get 3-4 members slammed up against the wall one more time. They're moving too close together as a unit. All they need to do is wait out the Mega Gnar. Wait it out, and then every team fight should be theirs with the Baron and the Elder Dragon with 3 buffs.
They had so much patience all the way up until they were knocking on that inhibitor turret, and they slipped up just a tiny amount, and it was Bun Bun with the Megaform, Kensti with the damage, and they might have just found their feet again here Too Easy at the last possible moment.
And remember, no inhibitor turret here. The open inhibitor is there for the taking. Bun Bun, no Mega Gnar just yet. It's available to them. Look at how quickly that inhibitor drops.
Yeah, the inhibitor is just gone. They can even rotate around to the mid turret without even needing minions. They can probably just melt the turret.
Kenzie.
Whoa! He needs to be careful, but funnily enough, Too Easy need to be more careful. Blinky took a big chunk. The Elder Dragon will expire before long. Bun Bun goes Mega now, though, and that's crucial because that's the one they need to wait out. They're going to clear up these minions, try and go for the mid turret.
And of course, they're dropping vision as they go along the way, trying to clear it out too. They could look to go for a split push. Bottom lane's available too. But as we've seen, simple mistakes, tiny mistakes can cause them the game. So moving as a unit is going to be the option here. Arcale, no time to recall here, buddy. You make use of that dragon buff.
Yeah, the Elder Dragon buff, like I said, about to expire soon. And villains, they've managed to wait out that part. They know that they can maybe start committing to a team fight soon, because that is how they win out this game. It's how they've got themselves back in, the very least. There is still a Baron buff and a ton of siege potential, though.
Yeah, Dragon gone. They've got the siege up Baron minions. Bun Bun, his rage bar is empty. Mega Gnar is still ages away.
This is their opportunity. Too Easy. They're going to start getting onto the first turret. Now, this is where they crumbled last time. They just need to be patient. They just need to wait it out. They have the Baron buff. They need to wait for the waves, and they can start chipping away at this turret.
A key thing as well is for both Arcale and Blinky to stay near Cupcake so he can save them if need be. Kensti does so much damage. We saw it just before. He can jump onto one of them and absolutely take them out of the fight, and both of them are crucial to winning these fights. Too Easy taking it very slowly and correctly.
The difference is, though, last time they were in a position to back off, to take it easy, and to siege up without Baron. This time, they do not have that same opportunity. Once this Baron buff runs out, they're going to be playing a waiting game until the next one, or trying to find a favorable team fight against the villains, which is a very hard thing to do. Too easy.
Oh, they pulled the trigger!
They're being committing to the fight, and Blinky's miles away! Cupcake's the focus! They're going to be able to knock him out of the fight right at the top. They've found one. It is now a 5 versus 4, and there is no Elder Dragon, it's just a Baron.
The Baron's gone.
Yeah, the Baron's gone too, maybe. It has. It's just expired. And, the villains. There is only one turret. There's now actually just barely an inhibitor back up. It's
not
a
gonna
hard
last long.
fight for Too Easy to win. Blinky commits a culling. Can see about half health, but he still leaves a ton of damage. They're knocking on the inhibitor again. Bun about to go mega. They need to give him space. They're going to commit to the fight any moment now.
He's
because
got
that is how
flash.
the villains win. He does, and he can flash Nara if they need. They don't quite want to go for it. They're going to do the same. Slow and steady wins the race. Take this inhibitor. Bide your time. Take another one.
This game is on a knife's edge. You could cut the tension with the same knife in this room right now. They're moving on up. Cupcake spawning up in 10 seconds. He's still got Abyssal Voyage, so he can join a fight from a mile away. Oh my god, Kensley, how often can you do that? That
too
CDR
often.
is really low.
A little scary, but that's really just the nature of Cassidy at 46 minutes in with 10 kills and 300.
Rintoyama!
Oh, Ren! Oh,
No way!
what when you go, buddy? And he pays for it with his life. And that is the second time it's been Rintoyama losing that little modicum of patience. He drops down. It's a long time until he respawns.
50 seconds.
And that's time that the villains can spend sieging, because that is a damage dealer. Last time it was only Cupcake.
Someone has to answer those super minions in the top lane. But Kensley's saying, no, we're going to win now.
They're committing because they've got the Mega on Bun Bun. And like you said, there's a flash. 2 Guardian Angels up as well. They've got one on Dolphs, one on Bun Bun. They're going to look for that. No, actually, they can't quite look for the top side first. They maybe just want to go right down the middle. They're going to have to commit to it now, though. Bun Bun, he's going to go mini any time now. And they can still fight this one 4v5 because Blinky and RKL still deal a ton of
20
damage.
seconds.
Yeah, Bun Bun is mini. 20 seconds on Rintoyama. Now down to 15 as the Culling's committed. RKL's looking for Dolphs on the side. Kenzie's gone deep on a Blinky, but he's paying for it. He's forced out of the fight. He's low. Man, he might be able to weave back in. Shiny forces the flash out now. The Chaos Storm is big. Blinky's going for it. He's looking for it. He's not too deep just yet, but he gets done. They turn it around. They found Blinky. Shiny just barely drops to RKL. Kenzie's back in. He finds RKL. I don't believe it. Dolphs, he finds one, but Jack Attack is up. Rintoyama is back. It's just Bun Bun and Kenzie. There is a Guardian Angel for Dolphs. He's going to be able to get out, but Jack Attack is one of his own. Kenzie, he's waiting to clean up. Can he do it? No, he can't. Jack Attack's found him. It's so close. But Bun Bun's the last one. He's not a Guardian Angel. The teleport's in. Jack Attack, he's going to close it out. And the minions are there. The one super might just be enough. There's only one Nexus turret left, and then it's just the Nexus.
This is
it.
it.
The ace comes through. How long is it? 15 seconds for Perkle, and he has no damage dealer. Too easy, but Jack Attack is struggling.
The inhibitor respawn.
No
way!
What is happening? What is happening? I think there's still enough time. The rest of Too Easy are here. The inhibitor will drop. They can clear the minions. They can take the Nexus, but they need to do it so quickly. Shiny is nearly up. Jack Attack, Cupcake, Rintoyama, they are not damage dealers. They're not going to do it. They're going to back away, and Too Easy. They keep the game alive for themselves, but they can't close it out either.
Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my god, I haven't seen a game this close in so long. We're hitting minute number 49 in 30 seconds. Baron's up again. Too Easy are ready to take it down. They've got the 2 Mountain Drakes, so it will drop quickly. Villains are ready to jump on them. It's not dropping quickly enough. They might be here to respond. Nara's ages away.
Villains can only win this with a team fight now. They do not have the structures to last against the Baron, and they barely lost that last team fight. This time, though, they don't have Guardian Angels.
Yes.
They don't have the extra lives, and that could be all the difference.
Sorry, Villains, no dragon for you, but the Baron buff does go over to Too Easy. 91,000 gold right now. Villains are entering enemy territory.
Blinky! Blinky, no! Oh, he gets eaten up. He's going to live as Kenzie goes golden there. Blinky on the backside, dealing with Dolphs now. Dolphs, he's in trouble. Gets dropped down. Rintoyama's still alive. They couldn't quite find him. Kenzie's zoned out. They're looking for Shiny. They're going to get Shiny. Now they're going to get Perkle. They're going to get the rest. Kenzie, he can only clean up, and no one else is doing the first part of the cleaning. Bun Bun gets dropped. Kenzie, the only one. Oh no, and Kenzie in the Abyssal Voyage as well. They know he can't defend it, and this time they have the time. They will clear up the super minions. They have the Baron. They're going to do the work. They're going to get right on up. They are making sure Kenzie cannot steal the game out from underneath them as Jack Attack ready to do the work, ready to drop that Nexus turret. Too easy. Is this it? Can they finally close this game out?
No inhibitor to do a cheeky respawn this time. Jack Attack there on his own. Cupcake about to arrive, but Kenzie's too low.
Checks on him. They're just keeping checks because if he gets away, he can kill their own Nexus, but they're not going to let it happen. They're not going to let Kenzie get away with it. They are going to take the game. They are going to kill God as the villains drop their first game in 3 years.
Not just their first game, but their first series. A 2-1 going over to Too Easy,
Wow.
who honestly brought their A game tonight, showing that they are a team to be reckoned with. There is a reason they seeded so highly, and this is really exciting because King 5 beat Too Easy.
Exactly. Actually, it was King 5. It was DNA that beat Too Easy, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was Too Easy. Well, no, it was Too Easy that won, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, actually, you're right.
But in any case, right? You make a fantastic point. Too Easy did beat DNA, but they dropped a game to DNA. They beat the villains. Does that mean DNA are better than the villains? I said this at the top of the broadcast. Tonight, and in fact over the rest of the week, we were going to see a lot more about how these teams really stack up one against the other. And tonight, we have absolutely seen that. The villains are no longer top dog, and they have been taken down a peg.
Well, they did still start off the night with 4 points rather than 3. But it is going to be Too Easy, who bump up to, well, taking away 3 points. That'll make them 6 points. Villains only taking away 1 point, 5 points. We've got a new leaderboard.
How that works. King 5 can actually tie that up to get an equal first alongside Too Easy, or with a 2-0 actually take an uncontested first, but nonetheless the villains have lost their spot, and the best they can get for this week is going to be second. This has been a really, really intense matchup. What are our final thoughts on it?
Honestly, I am so privileged to have cast that game. That was incredible, and
a very rare game.
I thought the first week was some of the best matches we've seen, but that had me pacing around the Hexadome, holding my head in shock. I couldn't believe that game at the end, and what a way to end.
What a way to end indeed. It has been one crackerjack of a matchup tonight, and we still have 2 more tight ones for the rest of the week. So before we head off, let's take a quick look at what those are going to be. I believe tomorrow, Tiger Eye.
Tiger Eye? Well, we've actually got it right here, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Tiger Eye, here it comes up here.
So tonight, of course, villains finally dropping their first series in the longest of times to Too Easy. Tomorrow night it will be Tiger Eye taking on Decode Esports. And I expect that one to be similarly tight and even. Decode with a lot to prove. And of course, on Wednesday, live in the Hexadome, we will have King 5 taking on DNA. And that could well crown a new leader.
It could well do, but that's honestly all we've got for you tonight. We can't give you any more. What more can you ask from us after a series like that, right?
Yeah, fantastic series indeed, and of course, congratulations to both the teams who played. It was Too Easy walking away with the win, and it was us walking away with very little breath left in our lungs. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. This has been a pleasure to bring to you, and from all of us here at the broadcast team, good night.
The NZGC is a production of Let's Play Live and brought to you by Logitech G, Twitch, Playtech, Adina Hotel, and all our fantastic technology and media partners.